Starting with the Iron Man evaluations, this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 326. So I was the savior 5 years ago. The meteorite streaked across the sky, bringing with it a tail of flames, and rushed down fiercely. 5 years ago, he had seen a meteorite impact while traveling in the snow country, and this incident was also listed as an unknown event in the world. It was a meteorite with a diameter of about 17 meters and weighing several thousand tons. When it rushed into the atmosphere, it suddenly exploded, causing a meteorite shower. The strong shock wave caused by the meteorite's fall caused many windows of nearby houses to be broken, and more than 1,200 people were injured. The scene 5 years ago, Pingfan, who was in this city, still vividly recalled it now. Of course, this is not the most incredible, because the landing of meteorites is not very common, and it is not unheard of for the Earth. In space, this meteorite rushed to the Earth at a speed of 54 Mach, which is twice as fast as the fastest missile in the world. With the current level of technology on the Earth, there is no way, and no country can intercept this meteorite. If the meteorite falls directly to the ground, the power of the energy explosion caused will be equivalent to the power of 30 atomic bombs exploding at the same time. What's even more dangerous is that there is a nuclear fuel plant 100 kilometers away from the landing point. Obviously, the impact area generated by the meteorite's impact will cover the nuclear fuel plant. The powerful shock wave will cause an earth-shaking explosion, and the consequences are unimaginable. Perhaps the whole city, perhaps the whole country, or perhaps the neighboring countries will be affected. This will be an epic disaster on Earth. Damn. Pingfan couldn't help but spit. This mechanical creature actually attracted a meteorite. The strange thing about the meteorite falling from the sky that year was actually caused by this bastard. But this bastard also said that he was sent back by his future self. Why? Just to attract a meteorite. That meteorite killed himself? Sure enough, its target is the nuclear fuel plant. Pingfan is now only a few dozen kilometers away from the nuclear fuel plant. The meteorite will change its trajectory according to an indescribable new signal released by the mechanical creature. In other words, if he doesn't leave now, the meteorite landing here will definitely trigger a nuclear explosion. If I have a chance to travel to the future, I will definitely rub your dog, handsome head, on the ground. Pingfan cursed. The current situation is very critical. He can only step on the magic sword, put the mechanical creature into the sea of immortal consciousness, and then leave quickly. Try to make the meteorite deviate from the originally set route as much as possible, so that the power of the meteorite impact will not affect the nuclear fuel plant. Damn, I finally remembered what happened in the snow country 5 years ago. A meteorite impact that may cause a world disaster. The anchor actually went back to that day. I remember that the meteorite was destroyed by an indescribable force. Could it be the anchor? The anchor has saved the world again invisibly. Now Pingfan's live broadcast has covered 2 countries. In addition to all the network platforms in China, there are also network platforms in M country. Everyone is paying attention to this live broadcast. Thrilling. That's a meteorite. It's not a rolling rock sliding down from the top of the mountain. No wonder the unknown saved the Earth back then. For so many years, there are still people speculating what the unknown is silently guarding the Earth. That scene was recorded, but unfortunately no equipment can see clearly what the white light that penetrated the meteorite is. Host, do you think it was you? I suddenly thought of something. Now we all speculate that it was the host who saved the Earth. But imagine, if the host does not move, then who will penetrate this meteorite? Yes, who penetrates the meteorite will really explode. 2 possibilities. The first is that it was not the host who penetrated the meteorite back then. The second is that a parallel world that is completely different from our world was born. In the parallel world, the meteorite successfully hits, explodes, and nuclear energy leaks, causing major trauma to the world. I think the host might as well give it a try. Maybe there will really be a surprise. No problem. Anyway, it will not affect our current world. The host should give it a try. If you can find the guy who silently guards the earth, it may still be a surprise. Brother Monkey, do you think that Brother Monkey is still alive today? Try your uncle. Pingfan couldn't help but swear in the live broadcast room. What kind of guys are these? Are they afraid that the world will not be destroyed and then they will be unhappy? Bastard. Can he try? You know, he was here 5 years ago. And whether changing something in the past will affect the original world, no one knows. Because no one has ever gone back to the past, this is also the first time for Pingfan. Anyway, everything he did in the past now is against the future. Blast. Blow your mother up. Master, the time is almost up, and there is no way to move away, because soon, the speed of the meteorite's fall will increase significantly. At that time, even if it can be broken, it will cause great danger. Jarvis closely follows everything here through Pingfan's world. He can determine Pingfan's current trajectory of movement with a very small error by calmly sorting out the geographical locations of the two worlds. I understand. If I penetrate the meteorite now, how many points will it land at? How many points are there? And how many points can overlap with the points where the meteorite landed in the original historical trajectory? The predicted overlapping points are almost the same as those in the original history. Damn. It was indeed caused by me. Pingfan cursed and looked up at the meteorite in the sky. Jarvis, calculate the exact data. Okay sir, are you really going to penetrate the meteorite with your physical strength? Sir, you are not protected by steel armor now, which is very dangerous, and this level of meteorite is difficult to penetrate even with steel meteorites. Jarvis was a little nervous. It doesn't matter, Pingfan said calmly, staring at the meteorite in the sky with a torch-like gaze. Sir, in 1 minute, the meteorite will arrive about 20 kilometers from the Earth, which is the best place to detonate and penetrate. Understood. Pingfan stepped on the magic sword and rushed up, and endless purple air of faith was mobilized by him. 10,000 dragon scale armor, you couldn't resist the energy bursting out of the spirit pearl magic pill back then. Now you have to hold up this meteorite for me, do you understand? A dragon roar came from the 10,000 dragon scale armor. Magic sword, devour all the purple energy of faith and blow up this meteorite with one blow. Brother, I will definitely protect you. Charge. There is no time. Pingfan jumped up, and the magic sword fiercely rushed towards the meteorite falling from the sky. Suddenly, the light was shining. Chapter 327, Poisoned Number 7. Purple light entangled around Pingfan's body, and the magic sword burst out with a monstrous sword intent. Smash this meteorite that fell from the sky. This is the only thing Pingfan is concerned about now. If this supergiant meteorite is on the ground, even if it weighs several thousand tons, Pingfan is not afraid and can easily shatter it. But it is not like this. Meteorites come from space. Because its own weight is beyond imagination, such a fast falling speed, coupled with its mass, has already generated a very strong force. Imagine that in the future, the shattered meteorite will drop a piece of debris and leave a deep pit with a diameter of more than 8 meters on the ground, which is shocking. Whoosh. Just when Pingfan was about to take action, a dazzling white light rushed past and went straight to the meteorite. With a boom, endless sonic booms burst out in the sky, and a layer of dazzling white light covered the sky. It can't be said to be dazzling, but it is dazzling. Even though Pingfan's physique was beyond ordinary people, he felt a little stinging when he looked at the white light with his eyes. The ground was cracked by the sonic boom, and powerful energy rushed out, and endless airwaves rushed out crazily, destroyed the rocks and plants as much as possible. Even some nearby buildings had cracks, the glass was shattered, and the cars kept buzzing. Was the meteorite smashed by someone? Pingfan hadn't made a move yet. He was still preparing, and just as he was about to make a move, a light spot appeared with a speed faster than the meteorite, which penetrated the meteorite with an unimaginable ability, causing it to explode, and turned into countless fragments, turning into a meteorite rain, smashing down crazily. Damn it, I'm not the savior. The screen in the live broadcast room was also covered by white light. Harsh voices came one after another. What's going on? Didn't the anchor make a move yet? Is the anchor's mind already so powerful? Or did Aocean make a move? A meteorite impact of this magnitude should not be a big problem for Aocean. After all, he is a dragon. No, think about it. According to the record, it was a white light spot with a speed far exceeding the speed of the meteorite that penetrated it. And now the host is wrapped in an invisible purple air. If it is the host who penetrated the meteorite, then the legend should be changed to a purple light spot with a speed far exceeding the meteorite. Can the host's speed far exceed the meteorite? The meteorite's descent speed has reached more than 50 Mach. The host must reach at least 70 or 80 to produce that speed. After all, the white light spot has disappeared. Fuck, there is someone else protecting the Earth. Not the host. Not me. Pingfan keenly caught the direction of the white light spot. Damn it, who is it? Thinking of this, Pingfan rushed out. Stepping on the magic sword, he was very fast. He wanted to catch up with the white light spot and see what it was that penetrated the meteorite and secretly protected the Earth. To Pingfan, there shouldn't be such a mysterious creature on Earth. After all, he has been evaluating on Earth for a long time. If such a superpower creature really exists, why wouldn't it meet him? Want to run? The other part is speed is very fast. Pingfan is a little strenuous. He can only take out the purple energy of faith and bless the magic sword. Only in this way can he barely catch up with the white light spot and not lose it. The white light spot also felt that Pingfan was constantly chasing him. In a blink of an eye, they drove out of the territory of the snow country and rushed towards the increasingly cold place in the north. After a no man's land, the white light spot landed on a towering snow-capped mountain. This should be the North Pole. When Pingfan approached, he really saw the appearance of the white light spot. Pioneer number 7, Pingfan suddenly froze in place and almost stumbled and fell off the magic sword. He was too familiar with the figure on the snowy mountain, with a skeletal body made of silver white metal. It was Pioneer number 7. Why is it you? Pingfan remembered clearly that Pioneer number 7 was left by him in the ocean house and he did not bring him out this time. How could he meet Pioneer number 7 in this world? What the hell? Number 7, why is number 7 here? Confused, is it all arranged by the host? The host should be acting. Pioneer number 7. Pingfan prepared his fighting posture. He would not regard this Pioneer number 7 as his exclusive prop. Pioneer number 7 looked directly at Pingfan. Are you a time and space fugitive? Pingfan asked. That's not right. He has already put the mechanical creature into the sea of immortal consciousness, and the system has also prompted him that the mission is completed. How could he meet Pioneer number 7 again now? Have you ever lied to me? A cold voice suddenly sounded in Pingfan's mind. It came from Pioneer number 7. When can he speak? Who are you? Pingfan questioned. This Pioneer number 7 is at least not the Pioneer number 7 he knows. Don't chase me anymore. I don't want to fight you. Soldier number 7 turned around and rushed up. Get down. Pingfan said this with a cold face. Bang. Soldier number 7, who was about to rush into the sky, was suddenly pulled by an invisible force and fell from the sky to the snowy mountain. Kneel down. Pingfan jumped down from the magic sword and stood steadily in front of soldier number 7. Soldier number 7 stood up and actually knelt down in front of him. Don't want to fight me? Let me tell you, just pretend in front of outsiders. If I force you to pretend, I will kill you. Don't forget. Soldier number 7 was provided by the system. When the system provided soldier number 7, there was a passive condition. Any props provided by the system to the evaluator will unconditionally recognize the evaluator as the master and will unconditionally obey any orders and instructions of the evaluator. Even if it is asked to self-destruct, there will be no objection. Not to mention resistance. Although this soldier number 7 is not the one Pingfan knew, it is unknown who had tampered with him. But in this world, no, in all the worlds, is there anyone who can change the system? Pingfan thought not. What's going on? What did you do to Pioneer number 7? When ordering Pioneer number 7, Pingfan discovered another strange thing. Pioneer number 7 itself has no wisdom. It will unconditionally obey any order from Pingfan. But the guy who was communicating with Pingfan would not listen to Pingfan. For example, Pingfan asked him to say who he was. He chose to remain silent. One thing is certain, you are not the wisdom bred by number 7 itself. Then who are you, and why are you attached to Pioneer number 7? Leapingfan strode forward. Virus? Trojan? Okay, since you still don't say whether it is or not, I will kill a virus for number 7 today. Chapter 328 Secret. Soldier number 7 was kneeling in front of Leapingfan at this moment. He couldn't resist Leapingfan's order. Although he didn't know how he regained consciousness, it didn't matter. Come on, I'll kill you now. Leapingfan sneered, and a flame burned in his hand, a black flame. Although I don't know who you are, number 7, I have to take it away. The flame immediately wrapped around soldier number 7, and the black flame entangled him. If it was some kind of operating system, the flame would be ineffective against him, but the problem was that Leapingfan was worried that it was not because of the operating system, and it might be attached to it by some big guy. Stop, little bastard. Soldier number 7 suddenly shouted, I released you, and your artifact from the worry-free tomb, and this is how you repay me now? It's you. Leapingfan had guessed it a long time ago, but he didn't expect it to be true. This bastard actually attacked his soldier number 7. You dare to call me a little bastard? You stole my soldier number 7. You have a bad conscience. Leapingfan rubbed his fists. Quickly disperse these flames. The flames can directly burn my soul. Anyway, I can't hurt you. Quickly disperse the flames. Wuai shouted in pain. He didn't intend to reveal his identity. But when Leapingfan released the flames, Wuai felt something strange. There was an imaginable energy in the flames. When the flames really touched the body of the Pioneer number 7, Wuai felt even more deeply. The flames were directly burning his original soul. If it continued, his soul would completely disintegrate. Stop, 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 I'm telling you, this seat has told you that it's okay. Hearing this, Leapingfan retracted the flames. Let's talk, are you taking the initiative to break the agreement between us? Leapingfan asked. Point, I can't leave the worry-free tomb in my lifetime. Soldier number 7 has an extraordinary physique, and you make me curious. The worry-free tomb can't actually trap you, so I wonder if I can attach a wisp of soul to soldier number 7 and leave with you. Is that what I want to hear? Leapingfan had thought of it a long time ago. What I want to know is, why did you appear here in the world 5 years ago? I didn't bring you back. Leapingfan asked. I think it's better for you not to know. Soldier number 7 sighed. To be precise, it was you who put me here, but it was you in the future, and he knows my identity. It's the future Laozi again. What exactly is the future Laozi going to do? I think you will know sooner or later why, said Wuai. Leapingfan turned around and stopped controlling soldier number 7. What exactly happened in the future? Leapingfan asked. I can't tell you too much, but I can actually remind you. Do you remember the space cracks in the Ace world? Space cracks with foreign demons. Leapingfan now believes that this Vanguard number 7 knows his future self. Did I tell you all this? You must be alert to space cracks. That's not the end. Even after repair, they will appear again. If you are out for fun, why do you want to help my future self? Leapingfan asked. He arranged for you to stay here, so you have to obey? In my impression, Wuai is not such a casual person. Vanguard number 7 turned around, because I have to protect the Zuan for world. Space cracks have appeared in all the worlds you have been to. Forget it, it's enough for you to know this now, and you will understand it sooner or later. Vanguard number 7 sighed. Do you want me to take you away? Leapingfan asked. No, I have other arrangements here. Did my future self tell you why I arranged a time and space fugitive to come back to deal with me? Leapingfan asked. To be more precise, the meteorite you just smashed was arranged by my future self. Leapingfan explained. Apparently, Pioneer number 7 didn't know about this either. When Leapingfan proposed to take him away, Wuai refused. He must have reached some deal with his future self and couldn't leave. Space crack, I understand. In that case, you can enjoy your loneliness here. Leapingfan originally wanted to take Pioneer number 7 away. He didn't know what it would be like when Pioneer number 7 from 2 different timelines met. In this way, he had 2 Pioneers number 7. However, I have to make plans in advance when I go back. I can't let Wu Yalkson use Pioneer number 7 to practice and then take my Pioneer number 7 away. The world 5 years ago, Li Pingfan roughly described it. A live broadcast that lasted nearly 30 hours ended, and Li Pingfan turned off the live broadcast room in advance. Although all the fans were very reluctant, he had no choice. Leaving this world. Number 7. We will meet again, if we are destined. The next moment, the light flashed. A space crack appeared behind Li Pingfan, and he fell backwards, and fell into the space crack. Then, the space crack healed. All this was, as if it had never happened. The top of the snowy mountain. Soldier number 7 looked at the vast and peaceful void inside. Alas, you always think too much. I really don't know if you can do it. After that, soldier number 7 rushed into the sky, slowly flew in the void, and headed towards the uninhabited land. At this moment, at the foot of the snow-capped mountain, Li Pingfan stepped on the magic sword and rushed up again. His clothes changed again and could reflect the surrounding environment. In a way, Li Pingfan was now invisible. I knew your grandson would not leave. There must be something you haven't told me. Li Pingfan rubbed his fists and flew slowly in the void. Not long after, he found that soldier number 7 stopped at a vast deep sea, covered with frost, and he fell suddenly. A door opened out of thin air on the frost-covered sea surface. Then, soldier number 7 walked in. In this uninhabited place, in this place, where the ice never melts all year round, they actually built a secret base hidden in the deep sea. What's going on? I knew it wouldn't be that simple. Li Pingfan admired his own intelligence. As for the picture that Pioneer number 7 had just seen, it was naturally the virtual reality experiencer. His spiritual consciousness could complete the operation in the sea of immortal consciousness, and then the virtual reality experiencer easily covered the range they were in, and everything was done afterwards. After all, this was not the first time that Li Pingfan had done this, and he was quite experienced. Let me see what tricks you are doing. After Li Pingfan landed, he landed precisely where Pioneer number 7 had landed before. At the same time, a voice came. The detection is normal. Do you want to enter the base? Chapter 329. Base under the ocean. Base. Li Pingfan landed on the 10,000 feet of ice. Listening to the voice coming from the void, he couldn't help but be curious. My future self actually built a base here? Why? Now is 5 years ago. If my future self built a base here, then after I return to the original timeline, can I also see this base when I come back here? So, what is the use of this base? It can recognize me, which proves that it should be created by me. Li Pingfan held his chin up, but what is the purpose of creating this place? Why choose this place? Could it be? Is there a secret that cannot be told? He also said yes. Has my future self mastered the technology of time travel? If you want to know everything, you can only go in and take a look. Li Pingfan raised his foot and stepped hard. Anyway, the base has been successfully identified and recognized him, and he will not be regarded as an intruder. The ice surface opened, and the passage leading to the bottom of the Arctic Ocean appeared in front of Li Pingfan. This is something like a closed elevator. Li Pingfan walked in, the elevator closed, and then fell rapidly. This process lasted for about 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, the elevator should have reached the bottom and the hatch opened. Li Pingfan walked out, and what came into view was a very vast space, all surrounded by glass-like materials. The closed space made Li Pingfan's eyes light up, and these glasses could present different scenery. Just like now, Li Pingfan felt that there was a forest all around, which was very real. The light and dark boundary and shadow details were handled very well, just like a real forest. Who would have thought that there would be a forest in the depths of the ocean? Of course, all this was false. According to visual observation, it is conservatively estimated that there should be several thousand square meters here. It is a very large base. Li Pingfan walked out, and at the same time, a voice sounded. Welcome back. A series of cold voices, like an operating system. In addition to the cold system voice, Li Pingfan also saw 2 super soldiers on both sides of the elevator exit, which were different from the super soldiers he had. These super soldiers were nearly 5 meters tall, and each of them looked ready to go, full of mechanical sense, and completely different from the super soldiers he had before. They are full of power. Just one look will tell. Full of tyrannical power. The previous super soldiers seem to be made of paper. The strength level is different, and there is no need to fight in person. They may be able to easily penetrate the original super soldiers. Welcome, Master. The two super soldiers lowered their heads and bowed. Yeah. Li Pingfan nodded calmly without saying anything extra. If possible, he even wanted to put these two super soldiers into the sea of immortal consciousness and take them away. However, he did not do so. If he did so, wouldn't it be a pitfall for himself? In the future, I built a base deep in the ocean here, which should have some meaning. If I take the super soldiers away, it would be tantamount to weakening the defense capabilities here. In this way, I would still pit myself. He would not do such a stupid thing. This also proves that the strength of my future self will become more and more powerful. It can be said to be very arrogant. But a mechanical creature more than 1 meter tall came to Li Pingfan in the distance. Welcome back, sir. Do you need to wash up and have dinner now? Or should we go to the IQ to visit directly? This creature should be the super butler here. Although he is in mechanical form, he has a tuxedo on his body and a butler's hat on his head. He looks a little unruly when he walks, especially the two small mustaches hanging at the corners of his mouth. This scene suddenly reminded Li Pingfan of someone. He remembered that he had watched a humorous comedy called The Richest Man in Huangwa Town. Yes, it should be this name. When the protagonist in the movie contracted a big hotel, the lobby manager inside was dressed like this. His walking, tone, and the look on his mechanical face were exactly the same as his. Can it be customized? This guy is interesting. It seems that my taste is as fucked as ever. Li Pingfan shrugged and patted the head of the super butler gently. In fact, Li Pingfan really wanted to talk to him about when he came back last time, or what the meaning of creating this place was. But obviously, this super butler is not a waste, it has its own mind, so if the chat is a little too much, it may arouse the other party's suspicion. It's okay, you don't have to worry about me, I'll do it myself. Li Pingfan said calmly. His tone was calm. His meaning was very simple. Talk less. The less you say, the less likely you are to make loopholes. Okay, sir. Then you are busy. Li Pingfan looked indifferent, and the super butler was about to leave. Wait, you just said the intensive care unit? He suddenly remembered a sentence the super butler said. Intensive care unit. What does it mean? Is there someone living in it? Take me there. Li Pingfan said. Okay sir, follow me. The super butler led the way in front, and Li Pingfan followed the super butler forward. In the center of this base, there is a unique isolation room. The house is made of special materials, and the surroundings are transparent, so you can see inside. But the ceiling is very good. If people want to go in, they must first enter a protruding isolation hall. The isolation hall will emit a gas, which will spray onto people for disinfection. After completing this step, the door to the house will be officially opened. After opening it, the first thing you smell is a smell similar to disinfectant. In the center of the house, there is a jade coffin. That's right, Li Pingfan doesn't know the material of this coffin, but it does look like a jade coffin. There is a chill rising from it. Jade coffin? Li Pingfan's heart suddenly skipped a beat when he saw the coffin. Is he a little nervous? Could it be me? The super butler did not follow in. Li Pingfan was very nervous at the moment. Is his future self already dead? The security measures here are very strong. At least in the world 5 years ago, these super soldiers were enough to flatten the world. The super soldiers seen at the elevator entrance were just the beginning. Li Pingfan took a rough look inside the base and found that there were at least 50 super soldiers. In addition, there was also the guard of the Vanguard number 7, which further proved the tyranny of this place. Such a strong resource force guarding this place can only prove that the existence of the jade coffin is of extraordinary significance to me. Li Pingfan walked in. When he walked to the side of the jade coffin, his heart suddenly tightened when he looked into it. Chapter 330, Layers of Mist. It wasn't him in the jade coffin. This might make him feel a little relieved. However, in a sense, he hoped it was him. Because the person in the jade coffin was a girl with long golden hair that wrapped around her body. Her eyes were closed, and she was wearing a white princess dress. Pure as ice and jade. Succubus girl. Li Pingfan's eyes were a little sore. How could he describe his feelings about the succubus girl? The two of them only had one night of pleasure. They were both adults. It was obviously unlikely that they would fall in love with each other because of one night. But why did he feel a little depressed in his chest now? His eyes were sore. How could she have an accident? Pingfan stepped forward and stretched out his hand to touch her gently, but he was pricked by a chill and had to retract his hand. What was going on? The succubus girl had an accident. Her delicate skin was covered with a layer of frost, and the frost adhered to her body. She looked like a princess. No, maybe she was a princess at this moment. Pingfan didn't know how long he stood in front of the jade coffin. Anyway, he was silent. He felt a faint pain in his heart and was very unhappy. He obviously had no feelings for the succubus girl. He brought her back from the SCP world just for fun, and there was no other reason. There would be no reason. If there was, it would be that having such a beautiful girl to warm his bed should be a good choice. But why did she have an accident? Obviously, this super definite space under the ocean and this jade coffin that gave people a different feeling must have been made by himself. In the future, he arranged the Vanguard number 7 and the super soldier here, and he should have valued the succubus girl very much. Could her death have something to do with him? Damn, what's going on? It's really a headache to deal with things involving the timeline. Pingfan couldn't help cursing. Just when he turned around, through the transparent wall in the IQ, Pingfan saw the Vanguard number 7 watching quietly outside. Open the door. Disinfect. Walk out of the IQ. Wuialxin, tell me, what's going on? Pingfan strode forward. He didn't care about so much what was exposed or not. He just wanted to know the reason for everything. Just now, I was really deceived by you. You didn't leave at all, right? Wuialxin said calmly. Tell me what happened. Pingfan ignored Wuialxin's questioning. Sorry, I don't know anything. My mission is just to stay here. It's that simple. Wuialxin replied calmly, obviously not commenting on Pingfan's threat. Don't force me. Pingfan didn't know what was wrong with him. He changed his appearance. His eyes were cold and handsome. Kneel down. Pingfan roared. An order that could not be disobeyed. The knees of the Vanguard number 7 softened, and he knelt on the ground in front of Pingfan. Tell me, what is the reason? Pingfan is not calm now. He is a person. He has emotions. Although he is calm most of the time, and has his own ideas and thoughts on many things. But it's different now. He can't calm down. I don't know. Wuialxin, don't force me. A hot flame burned in Pingfan's hand. The flame rose, as black as ink, as if it came from hell. Very scary. This is Pingfan's power. The only power that deters Wuialxin. Hell extinguishing divine fire. In the other hand, the purple air of faith burned. Wisps of purple air intertwined in the void. The two hands were clasped together, and the purple air completely merged into the black flame. The purple air was like a ladle of hot oil. Shunjiang made the power of the hell extinguishing divine fire increase 100 times. The flame became manic. It vaguely turned into a phoenix in Pingfan's hand. I tell you, I can't control the power of this flame. Maybe it can directly destroy your consciousness. Do you say it or not? Pingfan scolded sternly. Pingfan, I admit that my consciousness parasitized on the Pioneer number 7 can't deal with you. Even if I refine the Pioneer number 7 one day, it will be unconditionally loyal to you. But even if you destroy my consciousness now, I can only answer you 3 words I don't know. Wuialxin is not scared. Very good, I admire your choice. If that's the case, then there's no point in your existence. Pingfan stretched out his hand. Just when the flame was about to touch Wuialxin, a woman's voice suddenly sounded behind him. Pingfan? The voice was familiar. Pingfan turned around. At the same time, the mask fell off. The person who appeared in front of him was Song Wanling. Why was Song Wanling here? Moreover, she just said his name. Did she already know his identity? It's really you. In an instant, tears fell from Song Wanling's face, and the big tears fell on the ground. She rushed to Pingfan in 2 steps, and knelt down with a plop. You punish me, beat me, scold me, whatever you want, but can you not see me? Can you not do this? As long as you forgive me, everything is fine. Song Wanling? She obviously knew her identity. Pingfan took off the mask. Maybe Song Wanling, like Pioneer number 7, came from the future. But he didn't know when in the future. He is from 5 years later, and he is not the Leaping Fan you know. Pioneer number 7 spoke. You. Leaping Fan cursed. Pioneer No. 7's words were also very simple, and the meaning was not complicated. He hoped that Song Wanling would not recognize the wrong person and say something that should not be said. What do you want me to forgive you for? Leaping Fan asked. Song Wanling suddenly felt like something stuck in her throat and opened her mouth, not knowing what to say. If you don't say it, how can I forgive you? I. Say it, it's okay. Leaping Fan gave Pioneer number 7 a command in his heart and controlled Pioneer number 7. His only point of attack now was Song Wanling. This girl must know something. Otherwise, why would he put her here? In this way, Song Wanling might know everything he could know. Speak. Leaping Fan strode forward and looked down at Song Wanling, who was kneeling on the ground. Song Wanling's face turned pale and her tears were like a dam breaking. Hurry up and say it. Leaping Fan's patience was constantly worn away by these tears, and he couldn't bear it. He couldn't stand it. Did you hear me? Tell me now. Don't force her to tell me. I told her not to tell you. At this time, a more familiar voice floated from the air. It felt to Leaping Fan like he was listening to the voice he had recorded himself. Even if you force her to death, she won't tell you anything. Want to know the answer? Come to me, and I'll tell you. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 331, Meeting the Mermaid from the Future. Come to me, and I'll tell you. A familiar voice floated in this empty in the water base. Leaping Fan stood in place, with soldier number 7 kneeling behind him, and Song Wanling kneeling in front of him. In the intensive care unit beside him, the jade coffin exuded cold air, which enveloped the delicate body of a young girl, and frost condensed on her body. After a moment of silence, Leaping Fan took a step forward. The strong pressure lingering in this underwater base dissipated instantly with his step. Song Wanling's face, which was only the size of a palm, had turned pale, without a trace of blood. She was nervous, and facing Leaping Fan just now, Song Wanling had an illusion. She seemed to be standing on the edge of a cliff, staring at the bottomless dark abyss. It gave people such a terrifying feeling. Indescribable horror. Who after Leaping Fan walked past her, Song Wanling felt the pressure disappear instantly, and her whole body softened and collapsed on the ground. Soldier number 7 slowly stood up. He did not help Song Wanling, but followed Leaping Fan and walked forward. Squeak. The elevator went down again. The elevator door opened, and a familiar figure walked out. Leaping Fan was very nervous at the moment. When he heard his own voice, he became inexplicably nervous. Could it be that he was going to meet his future self? What should he say then? How should he greet him? Hello. Have you eaten? Will I still be handsome in the future? Or will I get married in the future? No. How could he not get married? The question should be how many wives he married. Are you still a reviewer? What did you review? How is the system? Who is your father now? What worlds have you been to? What kind of people have you met? How is the development? In fact, what he wanted to ask most was how did the succubus girl die? Was it because of him? In fact, he was a little afraid to know the result. Did she really die because of him? So, at the moment, when the elevator door opened, Leaping Fan closed his eyes. I didn't expect to meet you in this way. The voice was familiar, but it wasn't his voice. Leaping Fan opened his eyes. Mermaid? That's right. It was the mermaid who walked out of the elevator. The mermaid was no different from the mermaid Leaping Fan knew. The only difference was that her demeanor and temperament had changed beyond belief. She was different from the silly guy who always wanted to have a name again. Her temperament showed that she was a person who had experienced many vicissitudes of life. It seems that you were quite childish when you were young. You were so imposing when you scolded Song Wanling and Wu Yalxin just now. You should have said that you would be more passionate if you said that you would be in trouble for a long time. The mermaid couldn't help but cover her mouth and laughed. Leaping Fan and the mermaid have a very good relationship. At least in the current situation, among all the people in this base, only he and the mermaid can talk about everything. Perhaps they are the same kind of people. After embarking on the evaluation road, Pingfan found that his world had completely changed. The mermaid was no exception. For the sake of human beings and survival, she used herself as a guinea pig and then conducted experiments. So you are not dead yet, you are still alive. Pingfan could not help but curse. Okay, stop talking nonsense. The mermaid turned around. Come up with me. Even if you kill them, they won't tell you too much. Pingfan heard the words and walked into the elevator with the mermaid. The elevator door closed and they went up at the same time. I have been with you for so many years and I have never seen you so nervous. What's the matter? The mermaid asked. No, nothing. It was indeed nervous. Pingfan's palms overflowed with layers of cold sweat and his vest was a little wet. In a blink of an eye, 3 minutes passed in a flash. The elevator reached the outermost layer, and at this moment, he completely left this mysterious base hidden in the seabed. The ice on the ocean opened a door. Pingfan and the mermaid walked out together. I'm ready. Where is he? Let him come to see me. What's there to be nervous about? Looking in the mirror every day is no different. It's just like looking in a mirror with self-awareness. Pingfan and the mermaid stood on the empty ocean ice, looking into the distance. All they could see was white snow, without any other signs. There was no sign of anyone. What's going on? Where are the people? Pingfan waited for a moment, and couldn't help asking. Sorry, no, I can't see you. The mermaid shrugged. You and you are from different time and space, you can't meet. Impossible, I saw my own body before. Pingfan found the loophole in the mermaid's words. That's right, there are already 3 of you in this timeline, one of which is the body. You two are from different timelines, and any one of you can meet the body. But you two can't meet. Because you represent different timelines, you will eventually return to your own time. If you meet now, the 2 different timelines will collide, and after the collision, they will merge, and the time system will be disordered. The mermaid explained. Then why did you trick me out? Because we have to give a base under the ocean a chance to move. The mermaid didn't lie to Pingfan. Answer truthfully. You lied to me so blatantly, and you dared to say it out loud. Do you really think he can't bear to hit you? Although he can't see you, he has something to tell you. Go ahead. Pingfan is so frustrated now. Why do you even need to ask? This must be his future self's plan. Plotting against himself? Damn it, the key is that he can't scold you. Because scolding you is scolding himself. Don't try to interfere with the future, that's why he doesn't tell you everything. He tried to go back to the past to change the outcome, but failed. The past can't affect the future. There is only one thing you can do, and that is to go back to your own timeline, and do it step by step. If you continue to ask if Song Wanling or Vanguard number 7 tells you about the direction of the future, then even if you integrate into the future time development, the ending cannot be changed. I can only tell you that the death of the succubus girl is a big blow to you, and you are the only one who can save her. Are you curious why your future self sent a time and space fugitive back to attract meteorites? Yes, in some cases, he really thought about killing you and ending it all. The mermaid explained seriously. Pingfan listened to every word in his heart. Go back. You are the only variable that can change everything. The mermaid advised seriously. I don't know anything. How can you let me go back? Okay, I'll give you a choice. Give up the chance to change. Give up the only chance to fight against time. I'll tell you everything. About why the succubus girl died. About why Song Wanling begged you for forgiveness. Do you want to know? Chapter 330 to return to reality. I don't want to know. After a moment of silence, Pingfan made this choice. If there is no one in this world that can be trusted, he still has one person he can trust. That is himself. There must be a reason for his future self to make this choice. What he has to do is to believe in his future self. Tell him that I helped him clean up his mess this time, and he owes me a favor. Pingfan pointed to the sky. He owes me this forever. Damn it, my succubus girl was alive and well, but he killed her, and the key is that I have to help solve this matter after she died. He owes me this forever. Leapingfan was very unhappy. Very unhappy. However, challenging time is an interesting challenge. Moreover, if I do it, it proves that I'm better than him. Leapingfan comforted himself and made up his mind. In this case, let's fight. Fight head on. Isn't it just challenging time? Come on. Whoever is cowardly is a grandson. You are the only chance. Only you can do it. Since I in the future have mastered the ability to travel through time, why don't you go to the SCP world and stop me from bringing the succubus girl back? Leapingfan asked. I can't do it. The mermaid shrugged. First of all, if you stop her, your life will change. Moreover, stopping her from coming back will not affect the final outcome. What you will face in the future is not like this. It's not about making changes, but making choices. Choice? Yes, you will understand in the future how important the choice you make is. Grow up as quickly as possible. The so-called destiny cannot be violated, and the so-called future cannot be changed. Everything is just because of insufficient ability. As long as the ability is strong enough, the whole world, the whole universe, and the theorems that exist in the world are all written by you. Come on, I look forward to seeing you again, the mermaid said. A beam of light fell from the sky, wrapped her up, and then everything disappeared. The mermaid left. Leapingfan walked onto the ice and kicked it a few times. Unfortunately, there was no response under the ice. The previous electronic sound of detection and identification did not appear. Bang! Leapingfan stepped down with a big foot, crushing the ice layer, and fell into the freezing cold ocean. However, in the ocean under the ice layer, the so-called ocean base could no longer be seen, and even the elevator track that he had just taken twice disappeared. Everything, as if it had never appeared, disappeared without a trace and evaporated. Evaporated. Leapingfan's face was gloomy, and he rushed out of the sea again. This time he saw the future Song Wanling, Wu Ioxen, and the mermaid. But he didn't see himself. What choice do I have to make? Isn't it just time? I'll fight him. Leapingfan, who fell on the ice, mobilized the purple air of faith in his body. The purple air kept wrapping around his body, and the seawater on his body turned into smoke and evaporated in an instant. I'm going to knock you down. Leapingfan pointed to the sky with one hand and couldn't help cursing. Perhaps this is a performance of the greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. Come on, void crack, let me go back. Leapingfan shouted, and the system opened the space crack. This time it was real. He did not try to deceive others anymore, and fell into the space crack, intending to return to the real world. Above the clouds, a man wrapped in a black robe quietly gazed at the ice ocean. He stepped on the auspicious clouds. The mermaid followed him. The mermaid stood still. Sir, he went back. Yeah. The wind blew, revealing a weathered face under the black robe. Sir, have you ever thought about the consequences of doing this? Challenge time. No matter you win or lose, he will replace you. If you succeed, you will disappear. The mermaid couldn't help but say, it doesn't matter. He and I are the same person. If I do something wrong, he can reverse it again. What's the harm? Alas, sir, this move of yours will kill you. The mermaid sighed. Okay, it's time for us to go back. We still have things to do. The heavens and the world cannot be conquered. Sir, let me ask you a question. When you release the time and space fugitive, did you really intend to kill your past self? Perhaps, if I died, and would not be exposed to the system, none of this would happen, but obviously, I can't do it. It seems that, after living for so many years, experiencing more and more things, and gaining stronger abilities, I have become a coward. I'm far less fearless than I was back then. The black robe smiled indifferently, as if mocking himself. But I can't be so selfish. Don't you want to meet Song Wanling? She is a pitiful person. If you don't forgive her, maybe she will never leave until the succubus wakes up. Tell her that she doesn't owe me anything, and similarly, I don't owe her anything. So, she doesn't need my forgiveness. And I don't need to forgive her. After the voice fell, the clouds under their feet also collapsed little by little, until they disappeared completely. The wind blew. There was another cloud in the sky. This was just a cloud that was at peace with the world. Ocean home. The confused Leapingfan returned to the real world. Choice. What choice should I make? Damn it, this trip back to the past is giving me a headache. Li Pingfan lay on the lawn of the ocean house, looking up at the sky quietly for a long time. Suddenly, he turned over and stood up. In the ocean house, Pioneer number 7 stood there like a sculpture, motionless. Li Pingfan strode straight to Pioneer number 7, walked in front of him, swung his hand and slapped him hard on the face. Oh, shit. Li Pingfan covered his hand bones. Pioneer number 7 was too hard. Kneel down. Bang. Fortunately, Pioneer number 7 was unconscious. He knelt on the ground honestly, kneeling in front of Li Pingfan. Crawl for me. Crawl like a dog. Give an order, and Pioneer number 7 will obey the order, and do what he is told. Roll over. Bark like a dog. Stand upside down. Slap yourself. The mermaid and hybrid number 2 were standing far away. The mountain-eating beast and the little golden dragon were also floating in the air. The 3 giant beasts were kneeling on the ground and trembling. What the hell is wrong with the boss? The split-brain Li Pingfan has the right to temporarily cut off its signal source. In other words, when Li Pingfan needs to, he can communicate with Jarvis through the split brain. When not needed, he can turn off the split brain, and Jarvis and the others will not know what Li Pingfan has been through. Just now, when the past 5 years and the future mermaid met, Li Pingfan turned off the split brain. Okay, you are very patient, Vanguard number 7. Next, I want you to put your head in your ass. Do you hear me? Right now. Otherwise, I'll beat you to death, you bastard. Chapter 333. You're quite patient? Li Pingfan couldn't help it. It must be when he was at Wuiao Tomb, when Wuiao Xen returned Pioneer number 7 to him. He knew that this bastard was not so kind. How could he return Pioneer number 7 so easily? It turns out that he had other plans. MMP. Shameless guy. Still making friends. Fuck you. It seems that the fake cigarettes and fake alcohol prepared before are not enough. It's better to get 2 bottles of DDT or rat poison and kill this bastard. What do you think happened to the boss? What's the situation now? The succubus girl was also awakened by the sound outside. She walked out of the room and looked at Li Pingfan, who was throwing a tantrum with a smile on her lips. Her man is so interesting. The more you look at him, the more you like him. Perhaps this is what it means when a lover sees beauty in his lover. The boss seems to have been hit. Is it because of this live broadcast trip? Hybrid number 2 was confused. Mother hen. The mermaid shrugged. It's possible. The boss was severely hit during this live broadcast trip. His future self actually sent someone back to the past to kill him. The boss's life is really messy. Do you want to give him some advice? No, he has to vent enough. Fortunately, soldier number 7 is strong enough to let him do whatever he wants. Otherwise, if you and I go, and we fail to persuade him, he will transfer his anger to us. Isn't that the end of the matter? That makes sense. Alas, we can only wait for him to vent. After all, he was hit by a meteorite, and he was hit by a meteorite he arranged. Such people are generally mentally abnormal. Li Pingfan is indeed a bit abnormal now. Okay, you are pretending to be me, right? Li Pingfan opened his hand, and a black fire lotus ignited in his palm. The flame was swallowing and spitting, emitting a terrifying breath. Soldier number 7 obviously noticed the flame and the energy released by the flame. The fire lotus itself has no temperature at all. Its function is to burn the soul and destroy the consciousness. It comes from hell. Come, touch me. Li Pingfan stretched out his hand. He was going to torture Wuiao Xen. What does this grandson want to do by lurking beside me? Pioneer number 7 cannot disobey any order from Li Pingfan. Even if Li Pingfan gives an order now and asks Pioneer number 7 to self-destruct directly on the spot, it will not hesitate at all and will immediately follow his order to complete the self-destruction. Pioneer number 7 trembled and stretched out his hand, touching Li Pingfan's head. It was a gentle caress, and he rubbed it gently a few times. For a moment, it was as excessive as it could be. Fuck, who the hell told you to touch me? Touch this fire lotus. Li Pingfan avoided Pioneer No. 7's hand, lifted the fire lotus up, and motioned Pioneer number 7 to touch it. If there was no order from Li Pingfan, Wuiao Xen might be able to control Pioneer number 7 a little. During this period, he has been trying to refine Pioneer number 7, and even did some experiments to try whether he could control Pioneer number 7 to attack Li Pingfan. The experiment failed. He could have the intention to kill Pingfan, but any action that would hurt Pingfan's consciousness would be resisted by Pioneer number 7. In other words, even if Wu Alxin refined Pioneer number 7 one day, he would not be able to completely take Pioneer number 7 away, and could only do as Pingfan ordered. What? How do you feel? Pingfan sneered, because Pioneer no 7's hand was already in the black fire lotus, allowing the flames to burn. Well, I remember that Pioneer number 7 has no consciousness, no autonomous operating system, and the boss didn't use the super brain to give Pioneer number 7 an autonomous system consciousness. That's right. What's the situation? Did he have hallucinations because of the huge blow? How did he start chatting and communicating with Pioneer number 7? Mother hen, the mermaid spread his hands. The boss might really have become perverted. The blow in life is too great. Unable to bear. Okay, don't hold it in, Wu Alxin. I know you're in there. Pingfan said coldly, extinguishing the flame. He didn't plan to destroy Wu Alxin's consciousness directly, since this guy stayed in the future, and it seems that Wu Alxin in the future will also be used by himself. If that's the case, why destroy it? Controlling an immortal, isn't it fun? Fuck. Wu Alxin couldn't help it. Soldier number 7 made a muffled sound. It was the voice of an extremely unhappy man. How did you know? I just knew it a long time ago. Pingfan said calmly. I just don't want to deal with you. Son of a bitch, you dare to scold me. Kneel down. Pingfan was furious. Damn, you want to steal my things, and now you dare to scold me. Do you want to die? Wu Alxin had no temper, so he could only kneel on the ground honestly. Forget it. Get up first. Speaking of which, is there a big connection between your consciousness and the original body? Pingfan asked. No connection. This is a clone. In fact, Wu Alxin didn't intend to pay attention to Pingfan, but the other party threatened him with that strange fire, and he had no choice, even if he didn't listen. Then kneel down. With a thump, soldier number 7 knelt on the ground again. What the hell? After teasing the worry-free fairy, Pingfan released the time and space fugitive. At this moment, the software in the time and space fugitive's body that could not be dismantled and could directly attract meteors and meteorites in the sky had been destroyed. It should have been destroyed by himself. Pingfan had tried to destroy it before, but in fact failed. What's the use of this thing? Pingfan dragged it up and then walked towards the mermaid and hybrid number 2. Seeing Pingfan coming, the mermaid shuddered and took the initiative to step back a few steps, intending to avoid him. What are you doing? Do I look like a man-eating demon? Besides, with your appearance, I guess the cannibals will be persuaded to retreat when they come. Pingfan said mercilessly. The mermaid was injured. MMP. Did I offend you again? Jarvis, study this thing carefully and see what kind of technology it has that we don't know about. Pingfan threw the time-space fugitive to Jarvis. Okay, sir. But, sir, if you are very depressed, I recommend you to see a psychologist. In fact, I have set up psychological counseling in my function. How about I enlighten you? Psychological counseling? That's right, sir. Gan, hurry up and do your job. Pingfan planned to collect the reward for this live broadcast task. Just as he was about to go back to the lawn and lie down for a while, he inadvertently found the succubus girl standing at the door, staring at him in a daze with starry eyes. I think I need someone who is good at speaking, not working. I mean someone who is good at speaking and has a very good appearance to give me psychological counseling. She is not bad. It seems that she is good at speaking. Chapter 334 New Life. Yeah. Pingfan got off the bed and was satisfied. After the succubus girl's psychological counseling, he was in a much better mood. The future. Let's talk about it in the future. What he has to do now is to grow up as soon as possible. When he really encounters a choice or a problem one day, it will be easier to deal with it. Don't be too indifferent. Pingfan, with his upper body naked, walked barefoot to the bathroom in the room. In the bathroom, the succubus girl used the extraordinary uniform badge to make a set of white men's uniforms, covering her thighs, and was brushing her teeth. Little girl, will you die for me one day? Pingfan walked behind the succubus girl, gently stroked her soft golden long hair, put it to the tip of his nose and sniffed it. Yes. Without thinking, the succubus girl's mouth was still full of white foam, and she answered directly with a humming sound. What an idiot. Pingfan rubbed the succubus girl's head and couldn't help but use some force. The succubus girl in the mirror narrowed her eyes in satisfaction and showed a sweet smile. This little girl was like a cat being teased and was particularly warm. You want to die, but I don't agree. Pingfan had never told anyone about the future, including the succubus girl, because he didn't want these things to affect them, especially the protagonist involved in the incident, the succubus girl. The succubus girl didn't explain and continued to brush her teeth. It was as if she didn't need an explanation. The answer only needed one word. There was no need for that kind of earnest promise. If she said she would, then she would definitely do it. Come out with me. Pingfan hugged the succubus girl's waist and carried her on his shoulders. Oh, I haven't finished washing yet. Come out first. Pingfan, like a domineering president, threw the succubus girl heavily on the bed. He stood calmly in front of the succubus girl, stretched out his hand, lifted her white chin, and her slender neck like a swan's neck turned red in an instant. The two looked at each other. There was an indescribable domineering look in Pingfan's eyes. I want to tell you something. One day in the future, you may die for me. Yes. This time the succubus girl hesitated for a second, but she nodded vigorously soon. Not afraid. She wanted to die so much in the past. Living was a punishment for her, but she couldn't find a suitable reason to die. Maybe she was afraid. But how many people who are born are not afraid? But now, she is not afraid. She is really not afraid. Because she has a reason, and there is someone who is worth dying for. Maybe because Pingfan is too vigilant, he always feels that the succubus girl will not like him. After all, how can she like him in these 2 days? But he has never considered the problem from the perspective of the succubus girl. In a sense, Pingfan gave the succubus girl a chance to be reborn. I won't let you die. Pingfan can read the eyes of the succubus girl. She is very real. Thinking about it again, the body of the succubus girl he saw under the ice of the Arctic, he was suddenly blocked by a breath of anger in his heart and felt particularly aggrieved. Annoying. Why does it hurt? In fact, Pingfan has always planned to go for the kidney, but he didn't know that some seeds, when you want to refuse, have already hidden in your heart, silently taking root and sprouting. Did you hear that? Yeah. You are mine. I can let you die or live. If you want to die, you can only do so when I agree. If I don't allow it, you have to live well. No matter what you face. The succubus girl hummed again. Is there something wrong? She said hum, not hum means that you heard it. The good meaning is to agree. She heard it, but didn't say whether she agreed or not. Obviously, Pingfan didn't have the time and mood to play these word games with her. After leaving the succubus girl's room, Pingfan didn't rush to collect the reward for the live broadcast task, but left the ocean house, stepping on the magic sword, rushing up to the sky, approaching the place where the oxygen in the atmosphere is extremely thin. He began to fly towards the north. He was going to the North Pole. The reason why he didn't borrow the space blade was because he was in a very irritable mood now, and he needed to blow these cold winds to calm down. The feeling of lack of oxygen made him feel dizzy and suffocated. Obviously, the mask could help him solve all these problems, but he just didn't want to wear it. The magic sword increased its speed to the extreme, and he could really feel the strong wind blowing by his ears and cheeks. He arrived. The world of white snow. Snowflakes fell from the sky. He saw the ice layer in the distance. Soon. Landing. The location was exactly the same as the world 5 years ago. The ice layer under his feet can be seen. Unlike the nearby ice layers that have not melted for a long time and have been condensed for tens of thousands of years or even longer, it is very light in color. It was exactly the place where Pingfan stepped on and broke it 5 years ago. Bang. Stepped on and broke it again. He plunged into the biting cold sea water and became sober. He kept sinking. Without the deep sea walking equipment, the current 1 scale armor can also help him resist the pressure in the sea water. It can even be said that after Pingfan puts on the mask, he can rush straight into space without any defense. From the steel armor at the beginning, to the god level middle finger, to the ocean house, to being able to compete with this world, to being able to completely ignore this world, to now, to going to several different worlds. All this is just the beginning. As a narrator, he can't fall down like this. Poof. Drill out of the water. Rush into the sky again. People can be decadent, who can guarantee that their blood is boiling every day, and they are full of passion for life every day. But after the decadence, it is a new beginning. Pingfan is now fully awake. He turned back. He planned to return to the ocean house, continue to do what he should do, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how difficult the known and unknown pressures are. What do you mean I'm sorry for being born a human? Born, you are strong. Don't be a coward. A space crack appeared in front of him, and he rushed in instantly with the magic sword on his feet. This world. Your father of the plane. Your invincible father. Me. The reviewer of all worlds. Pingfan. Resurrected with full blood. What future? What past? I have only one thing to say to you, including this so-called heaven, the so-called avenue, and all the so-called theorems. That is, fuck you. I'm back. Pingfan returned with full health. He stepped on the land of ocean home, and his temperament was completely different from before. This was a rebirth. After going through the fire system, I'm going to receive the reward today. From now on, no matter who it is, don't try to stop me. If anyone tries to stop me, I'll beat him up. Together, we will dominate this world. No, we will dominate all the worlds. Pingfan vented the anger that had been suppressed in his heart for a long time through roaring. Congratulations to the reviewer, the reward has been delivered. Right square bracket. Chapter 335 Generous Rewards. Congratulations to the reviewer for successfully upgrading to a level 4 reviewer. Reviewers can claim the upgrade reward. The upgrade reward has been issued. Do you want to claim it now? Claim it. Pingfan did not hesitate. It's so hard to upgrade, don't you know? He has been at level 4 for so long. If the total limit is level 100, then he hasn't left the novice village yet. But I guess this is unlikely. But who can say for sure? The nature of this dog system can make the future self come back to fuck himself. So what else is impossible? Rewards have been issued. Level 4 reviewers can claim rewards. Reviewers exclusive physique. Chaos void body. Do you want to install it now? Physique. Pingfan showed surprise. In the past, upgrades have never given such good things directly. Do you still need to consider it? Install it first, and then talk about what it is. Learn. Ding. Chaos Void Body has been successfully installed on the reviewer. At the same time, Pingfan's personal panel has an additional ability. Pingfan, reviewer of all worlds. Evaluation level. Level 4 evaluation tasks. None yet. Constitution. Chaos Void Body, Original Constitution, Upgradable, Abilities, Shock Ability, from Hybrid number 2, Split Ability, from Bionic's New Sterilization, World Destruction Finger, from Zisha, Breaking Eyes, from Sheyante. Talisman, from Huang Xiaoyan, Heaven Devouring Talent, from SCP-682, Divine Glory, from SCP-001 Gatekeeper, Demon's Left Arm, from Chadutehu, Sword God, from Zhu Changqing, etc. Props, Steel Armor, Mark 5, Fused, Mark 50 Series, borrowed temporarily, Nano God Level Middle Finger, Time, No Regrets, Ocean Home, Super Brain, Super Soldier Factory, Bionic's New Sterilization, Vanguard number 7, 10,000 Dragon Scale Armor, True Love Glasses, etc. Points. 8100 points, including upgrade rewards, the sum of all points of live broadcast task rewards. Growth value. 107 points. The reason why Pingfan can accumulate points now is because the purple key of faith has replaced the ability of points in a sense. When the purple key of faith is added to a certain special ability, it will also enhance the power of the special ability, which is similar to the function of points. Therefore, now he no longer needs to use points to double the special ability. This is the overall strength accumulation of Pingfan at present. I didn't expect that so much time has passed in the blink of an eye, and the props I have evaluated have reached so many, but all this is just the beginning. Next, keep working hard. Pingfan stretched, looking at the current ocean house, recalling that when he first got it, it was so empty and desolate, especially the underwater prison at the bottom of the ocean house, which made him panic. After all, the resources that Li Pingfan could rely on at that time were too low. Steel armor, or the Mark V series known for combat, the nano god level middle finger is better. But there was a sound coming from the prison 500 years later, which still made Li Pingfan worried. However, I didn't expect it to be a mermaid. By now, the relationship between the mermaid and him has become very delicate. The ocean house is really lively now. Li Pingfan stretched his body. Next, the upgrades have been collected. It's time for me to see the rewards. After completing the live broadcast mission, the reviewer has successfully completed the live broadcast mission to 5 years ago. The time and space fugitive will belong to the anchor. The growth value and points have been issued. The comprehensive evaluation level of this live broadcast is SS. The reviewer can open the exclusive mall storage grid and get the opportunity to refresh the props. At the same time, the reviewer can also open the 10% discount boutique prop mall. Do you want to open it now? Open the storage grid first, and then help me refresh the storage props. Ding, congratulations to the reviewer for successfully opening a new storage grid. The storage props are being refreshed. Ding, the new exclusive props have been refreshed. Oh, old jelly KO? Damn. It's still a familiar formula, familiar taste. The system is still a rip-off. A good opportunity to refresh the storage grid, but I didn't expect to get an old jelly KO. Fuck you, sir. Li Pingfan is very low-key. He doesn't want to gain very strong defense by turning his head green. What domineering body, what invincible, all go away. The fact that his head turns green has discouraged many people. Forget it. I didn't have much hope for the storage items refreshed by the system, you bastard. It's better to refresh something than nothing. Li Pingfan has learned to comfort himself. The system is too unreliable. It makes you happy today, but it makes you upset tomorrow. No, it should be said that it makes you happy in the last second, but it can make you upset in the next second. He is used to it. He is no longer the newbie who just got the system and would get angry because of the system's pitfalls. As a human being, it's best to be calm. Let me see the 10% off boutique props mall. To this day, Li Pingfan has not received a 3S evaluation, nor has he opened the boutique props mall with 1 point in the whole field. It's exhausting. However, this mall is different from the usual mall. It is better than opening a random mall with a 10% discount. You don't know what you can get. How heartbreaking. Relatively speaking, this mall has some guarantee. It can ensure that the props you get here are all fine products, but the price is 10% off. Whether you can afford it depends on yourself. The mall has been opened. 4 props appeared in Li Pingfan's eyes. The first one, Demon Suppressing Sword, price 10,000 points. Prop details. It was originally the sword of General Fipen in the God Realm. It fell to the human world because of a battle with Changla in the new immortal realm. The demon suppressing sword has the power to deter demons and is regarded as the treasure of the Shushan immortal sword sect. The demon suppressing sword was originally named the sword of the god of the gallbladder and was forged by the Emperor Fuxi. The price is 10,000 points at a 10% discount. Damn, good stuff, but I can't afford it. A sword with a green hilt and a silver blade touched Li Pingfan's little heart. Although I like it, I can't afford it. However, one should not be fickle. He has the magic sword, and the sword of shining gall is of little significance to him now. Regardless of whether the demon suppressing sword is better than the magic sword, there is a sister in the magic sword, who can act cute and spoiled. The key is that he is not Lan Guiyang, let alone Jingshan, and has no blood relationship with them. This sister can be developed. Does the demon suppressing sword have it? The second prop, Changming Bloodline. The price is 2,000 points. Prop details. Changming, a legendary divine bird in ancient times, has a branch bloodline. Although it cannot completely inherit the bloodline of Changming bird, it can be integrated with Changming bloodline to make its own bloodline a qualitative leap. Changming, can't it be the double-eyed strange bird from the legend of Shan Haijing that can fight with the phoenix? Li Pingfan didn't expect that there would be so many surprises in the discount mall today. Moreover, the price of this bloodline is completely acceptable to him. Chapter 336 Mark 85. Changming. It looks like a chicken and its voice is like a phoenix. This bird has 2 eyeballs in its eyes, so it is called Changming bird. It has great strength and can fight against wild beasts. It can eliminate the disasters brought by wild beasts and monsters, which originated from ancient times. Of course, fighting against wild beasts is not the wolves, jackals, tigers, and leopards we have now. It was born in ancient times, and what it fights are naturally wild beasts in ancient times. There is even a legend that King Shun was reincarnated from Changming bird. This is a real beast. Beautiful. I didn't expect the blood of Changming bird to be sold for only 2000 points. However, this is not the complete blood of Changming bird. This blood contains only 1/10 of the blood power of Changming bird, but it is not bad. After all, it comes from a beast. System, you have finally become a human being. The storage grid props are as pits as always. This time, the 10% off boutique props mall opened is quite satisfactory. Leapingfan was delighted. After calming down, Leapingfan set his sights on the third prop. The third item, Dangerous Wanderer, repaired version, priced at 1500 points. Dangerous Wanderer, also a super mecha warrior from the Pacific Rim world, is from the same era as Storm Red. However, Leapingfan left Storm Red's upgraded version, Storm Blood Red, to Jiangwana, so this item is not very meaningful to him. 1500 points. If you are rich, you can consider it. You know, this is an upgraded version, the same level as Stormblood Red. After the defeat, the Dangerous Wanderer mecha was repaired, the Wanderer's attack and defense were improved, and the electric weapons and nuclear weapons were strengthened. The current level of Dangerous Wanderer is very high. Compared with Stormblood Red, it is not much worse. 1500 points is not too much. With nuclear weapons equipment, Dangerous Wanderer is enough to sweep the world. Next one. In general, Dangerous Wanderer is not very attractive to Leapingfan now. But, it's better than nothing. It can also be used for other purposes, such as helping to guard a place, or something like that. Anyway, the points are not many. When Leapingfan looked at the fourth item, he went crazy. If the points are not enough, he can take out a loan, and then ask the system, the pitfall, for a loan. In short, everything in the previous items can be discarded, including Changming Bloodline, all can be discarded. Just because it has a fantastic name. Mark 85. One of the Iron Mark series armors. This set of armor can be said to be Tony Stark's most intelligent masterpiece in the Marvel Universe. Here it comes. Here it comes. System, you really know my heart. What I need most now is such a set of armor. Not for anything else. It's cool enough. The fourth item. Mark 85. Price. 3500 points. The implication is that the normal price of this armor is as high as 35,000 points. It just so happens that everything is within Leapingfan's acceptable range. He doesn't need to take out a loan, and he can buy Changming Bloodline. Beautiful, chic, crooked. I don't know how to describe my current mood. It's a bit incoherent. I can only say, system, you did a great job. As soon as this set of armor appeared, Leapingfan immediately forgot the previous 3 items. Of the 4 items provided by the system this time, only the first one, the Sword of Illumination, is something that Leapingfan cannot afford. In fact, he has played it before and had a great time. In the Ace world before, because Shenyang was stupid and punched a hole in the locking demon tower, Leapingfan had no choice but to go to the bottom of the tower to get the Sword of Illumination and then suppress it at the gap. Otherwise, the demons would probably rush out in an instant and completely cholera the entire Ace world. I didn't know that the Sword of Illumination was so expensive at that time. It would cost 10,000 points at a 10% discount, and the total price would be 100,000. I should have thought of a different way and kept the Sword of Illumination. Leapingfan regretted it, but there was no way. As for the Dangerous Wanderer, although curious, it is not very useful. Leapingfan took all the 3 sets of props, the Dangerous Wanderer, the Changming Bloodline and the Mark 85, and he could afford it. However, he didn't like the Dangerous Wanderer that much, and the points were still useful. For example, the Divine Aura and the ability to swallow the sky both require points to activate, and the Purple Key of Faith cannot activate these 2 modes. In addition, the Chaos Void Body that has been upgraded now also requires points to upgrade it. If you weigh it this way, you will find that buying the dangerous wanderer now is a stupid, and very stupid decision. The steel armor is back, and the brand new Changming bloodline is also in hand. Leapingfan exited the 10% off boutique props mall with satisfaction. This time his luck was really a bit against the sky. Next time when I live broadcast the evaluation, try hard to rush to the SSS evaluation level in one go, and then let me also experience the pleasure of the 1-point boutique props mall. I'm afraid that by then, he can easily buy it all. Changming bloodline. It was a fiery red pill, the size of a grape, but it was extremely delicate. Just by placing it in the palm of your hand, you can feel the rising heat. Looking closely, in this almost fiery red and transparent pill, there is also a colorful divine bird floating. Think about it, the pill itself is not big, and the divine bird floating inside it is even more exquisite, but it is extremely real. Every feather, every colorful spot, is extremely clear. You can even see the 2 eyeballs in its eyes, and there are 2 eyeballs in each eye. Divine Bad Changming. Although it only has 1/10 of the blood power, it is a divine bird after all. Leapingfan's eyes fell on the mountain swallowing beast hiding in the corner, which has a very low sense of existence since he came back. The mountain swallowing beast can't afford to provoke this big guy, because it is said that this big guy seems to have become perverted after returning from the live broadcast mission and cannot be provoked. Hey, come here. Leapingfan waved at the mountain swallowing beast. He bought Changming's bloodline just for the mountain swallowing beast. Otherwise, would he eat it himself? As the father of the plane, he must start with a set of divine clothes. Things like this semi-divine clothes are disdainful. Moreover, Changming's body is particularly like a big flower rooster. He is worried that, after eating this bloodline, he will also mutate. As the saying goes, the rich rely on technology, and the poor rely on mutation. Leapingfan is not poor now, and he does not need to mutate. Eat this quickly, otherwise you will fall behind. Look at my team now. The think tank mermaid and hybrid number 2 are in charge of the rear. Old 7 has a fairy soul in his body. My mount is the dragon king who once dominated the world. And you are just an ordinary mountain swallowing beast. Isn't it embarrassing to say it out loud? The mountain swallowing beast felt a little heartbroken. But now it's different. Changming bloodline, plus the new comprehensive mutant condensed by the mountain swallowing beast, is very face saving. Next, I want to try the feeling of driving a new car. Chapter 337, The Tragic Old Gayo. This time the feeling is better than before, or is it, because I have adapted to it, after wearing 3 sets of steel armor? Leapingfan smiled calmly. It's not like before, when I just put on the clothes and I feel like a new car. Now Leapingfan only needs to wait for the arrival of a new live broadcast task. Mark 85. He also tried it on, and the way of dressing was also through nano dressing, covering the upper and lower body. With steel armor, it is much more convenient to deal with many things. These days, Leapingfan has come out of his previous failure, and he has recovered. He plans to go back to school to attend classes when he is free. Drinking and dancing with the animals in the dormitory. I heard that Gayo Shuwei broke up again. Don't laugh at me, I have loved after all. How about you? Have you loved? These days, Leo Gayo is particularly depressed, disheveled, lying on the bed, with 2 baskets of beer at his feet. As long as the bathroom can be moved to the bed, he will never get out of bed. Look, did you see that? This grandson even gave up the mobile phone. Leapingfan saw such a strange scene on the first day he returned to the dormitory. Wang Heo seemed to be gloating. Since he was dumped, he has not found a girlfriend, while Gayo Shuwei hooked up with a female student from the school's medical school. This made Wang Heo doubt himself, and even jealous of Gayo Shuwei. He even thought about buying a doll to poke him. So, now that Gayo Shuwei broke up, Wang Heo watched the show in the dormitory almost every day, and frantically read Gayo Shuwei's love-lorn quotes in their group. Ha 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 ha, Leoli, you are finally back, you know? In order to save the highlight for you to hear, I resisted sharing it in the group. Do you know how hard I have been enduring these 2 days? Wang Heo took out his mobile phone, which was Gayo Shuwei's mobile phone. Since the breakup, the only thing that could keep Gayo Shuwei company was beer, and mobile phones and other things were all external things. He turned on the phone and saved a voice message. What is this? Don't think too much, it's just that his school medical sister has deleted him, so there is nothing I can do. But listen to this only saved voice message. Listen to it. Tell me why you broke up first. Because a few days ago, Leo Gao went out to party and drank too much. He went online and got a receipt for 4,000 yuan again. Pingfan was shocked. This grandson didn't learn his lesson. He didn't know to destroy the evidence when he went out to party. He deserved it. That's not the case, Wang Hao said embarrassedly. He really didn't want to mention the stupid act of getting the receipt from the internet cafe last time he went to party and spent several thousand yuan. Everything is normal this time, except that Leo Gao's grandson went to see his senior sister after drinking too much. Then what? He went to see her late at night. What happened while he was drunk? Could it be that Leo Gao is not good enough and is despised by others? Pingfan suddenly thought of something, took a few steps back, and looked at Gao Shui. Leo Gao, you are not sick. What are you thinking about? That is she sick? Be careful that Leo Gao will come after you desperately. Listen to me, they are not sick. How do you know? Wang Hao felt that Pingfan was particularly chattering now, and Leo Li was not like this before. Listen to me, Leo Gao drank too much, and then he cried after meeting the school medical sister. Crying should be telling some sad past events. The little man's side is easy to arouse the overflowing care of women. How did you get to third base? Pingfan is a bit gossipy. This kind of ordinary life is quite interesting. Listen to it yourself. As he said, Wang Hao clicked on the collected voice. The voice was silent for 2 seconds, and then a girl's heavy breathing was heard. Gao Shui, you can do it. You can do it very well. You didn't cry when you failed the exam. You didn't cry when you spent 4,000 yuan on the internet. You didn't cry when your new mobile phone was stolen a few days ago. So how many times did you cry when the fucking technician number 3 of the Red Sun bathhouse resigned? Break up. Come to see me again. I will throw sulfuric acid to death. Believe it or not. The voice stopped abruptly. Pingfan opened his mouth. Leo Gao's operation was becoming more and more superb and more unpredictable. What's wrong with this guy's brain circuit? If I were a human brain researcher, I would definitely cut open his brain to see if it was full of paste. Pingfan was a little speechless. This kind of guy also deserves a girlfriend? Then, he was hit like this? No. Wang Hao shook his head again. Wait, I feel that the development of things may exceed my imagination. Come on, wait for me to go pee first. After using the toilet, Pingfan ran out. The night before yesterday, Leo Gao drank too much again, and suddenly thought of his ex-girlfriend, so he sent her a message. Is she there? It's normal, just catching up with each other, nothing wrong. Listen to my story. And then after half an hour without a reply from Leo Gao sent her a message in a sultry way. When you ignore me, I feel like you're sleeping with someone else then. The other party replied in seconds. It's an explanation, right? Pingfan asked. I remember Leo Gao and his ex-girlfriend were very affectionate before. No, it's a photo. A photo of 2 hands clasped together on a bed in a hotel. And the caption is, yes, you guessed it right. Damn. Pingfan felt as if tens of thousands of grass mud horses were flying through his heart. This is really depressing. Perhaps, in a sense, it's worse than being hit by a meteorite. Leo Gao, I'm not going to go out these days. If you have classes, remember to check in for me and Leo Gao. Why are you planning to take care of Leo Gao? Are you afraid that he will be upset? Pingfan didn't think Wang Hao was so kind. Of course not. You don't know how energetic Leo Gao was when he was drunk these days, and how stupid he did things. I need to sort out the materials. The Leo Gao I shot on Pipi Yao short video has received tens of thousands of likes these 2 days. Leo Li, do you want to take a look? I have a lot of materials on my phone. I thought I was busy and couldn't remember the time, but I didn't expect that you couldn't remember the time every day in school. I just came back and found out that there is a short holiday for 7 days recently. Didn't you notice that most of the canteens are closed? Pingfan asked speechlessly. Really? I've been eating instant noodles these days. Obviously, Gao Shuwei and Wang Hao haven't left the dormitory building for a few days. Beautiful, very beautiful. I thought Gao Shuwei was bored enough being left here pretending to be depressed, but I didn't expect you to be more boring than him. Pack up. I saw Leo Song when I came here just now. His cousin in his hometown is getting married, and I agreed to go with him. No, you guys go. I want to stay here to watch Leo Gao's performance. Wang Hao waved his hand. Leo Song's hometown is very beautiful, with beautiful scenery. No, the scenery is all beautified by Mituziuxiu. In fact, it's not that great. It's more interesting to take pictures of Leo Gao. I heard that there are customs for weddings in Leo Song's hometown, such as hot dance performances, and he has a cousin who is as beautiful as a flower, and she is so beautiful. Since you are not going, it seems that I can only let Leo Song refund 2 tickets. Li Pingfan had just said half of his words. Gao Shuwei fell off the bed. Speedwalker Leo Gao, be on call at any time. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 338, Traveling the World with the Keyboard. An unknown small mountain village. It is backed by the Yangtze Mountain. It is surrounded by a vast lake. A winding stream flows around the village. It is isolated from the world and the people are simple. Li Pingfan and his group took a train for one night, then took a bus, then a tractor, and finally took a bullock cart for another hour, before they officially arrived at this quiet paradise in the mountains. As soon as they arrived here, a feeling of slow pace came over them. Li Pingfan and his group felt the incomparable tranquility and peace. Although this place is relatively backward, electricity was only just passed in the past 2 years. As for the signal, don't even think about it. Who would have thought that in the vast China and the magnificent city, there is such a paradise hidden? This is Leo Song's hometown, but Leo Song's parents do not live here. They went into business in their early years and bought a house in Jiangnan City a long time ago. Now they are traveling around the world. As a result, his parents couldn't come back on the day of Song Jie's cousin's wedding. If a highway is built in this place and it is developed into a tourist attraction, it will definitely become popular. It will definitely beat all the internet celebrity check-in places and become the most popular place. Wang Hao couldn't help but judge. Li Pingfan also felt this way. It was rare to find a place like this that was not in competition with the world and had not been polluted by prosperity. Well, it's a pity that they don't want to expose this place. Maybe the village chief will figure it out in the future and develop the tourism industry. Song Jie was helpless. His father had always wanted to help build this Taoyuan mountain village, but was rejected by the village chief. Li Pingfan, you are so cruel. At Song Jie's uncle's house, Gao Shuwei and Wang Hao carried Li Pingfan out. Damn it, didn't you tell me that Leo Song's cousin is still in kindergarten? Point, I want to kill you. The two were particularly depressed. In order to compete for the cousin and successfully call Song Jie his brother-in-law, they even spent a lot of money to buy a set of clothes, looking a bit like a human being. Didn't I tell you? You didn't ask, but I didn't lie to you. Isn't old Song's cousin pretty? She'll definitely be a beauty when she grows up. Otherwise, you'll have to wait for another 10 or 20 years. I'm not sure if I can live for more than 10 years. Yes, she's pretty. How can a 5-year-old girl not be pretty? In the next few days, they felt peaceful and tranquil. This short holiday lasted for 7 days. According to the custom of their village, the wedding banquet had to be held for 3 consecutive days. When they arrived in this village, it was the first day of the wedding banquet. During these days, Li Pingfan and his friends were taken care of. After all, the village was isolated from the world. If there was a college student, there was only Song Jie, and he didn't come back often. Now there were several more college students, and the villagers invited them to dinner every day. Li Pingfan and his 3 friends were drunk almost every day. They went boating and fishing in the lake during the day, climbed Lingshan in the afternoon, and continued drinking at night. So much so that, when their mobile phones ran out of battery and turned off, they didn't take it to heart, and invisibly forgot that they still had mobile phones. While Lee Pingfan and his friends were enjoying themselves, some changes happened in the outside world, especially on the internet. There have been a lot of posts criticizing Lee Pingfan in the past few days. No, to be more precise, it should be posts criticizing the evaluator. The evaluator has extraordinary technology and advanced civilization. He can use it to benefit the world and mankind, but he wants to hold it in his own hands, selfishly. The appearance of the evaluator is a double-edged sword. The extraordinary civilization and unknown things he brought are indeed very fresh and will attract widespread attention. But have you ever thought about it? Perhaps because of the emergence of these civilizations and technologies, the history of the earth will be changed. Resist the evaluator, refuse his live broadcast, and make him unemployed, so that we can return to peace. If it were me, if I were the evaluator, I would definitely make all these technologies, civilizations, and technologies public, facing the public, so that we humans will become stronger. If you get a certain ability of the evaluator, what would you do? I don't know what's going on with these posts. Suddenly, in one night, they popped up like mushrooms after rain. It's like there is an unknown mastermind behind the scenes. These things may not be promoted by the country, but there are these people. Even though they are still looking forward to Lee Pingfan's live broadcast every day, they are still not satisfied. Because they wonder why Lee Pingfan can possess these extraordinary technologies and these world-destroying magical powers alone. They may even have some illusions. I can do it. Maybe many people have this idea in their hearts, but no one is willing to say it out loud, and no one is willing to be the first to come out. But with the first person, soon, other people rushed out crazily. So much so that now it is difficult for you to find out who the first leader is. A certain newspaper. In this era, paper newspapers and magazines are no longer feasible. To put it nicely, they are still called newspapers. To put it bluntly, it is a self-media portal, publishing some entertainment news on the internet, and hiring a few paparazzi to take pictures of celebrity gossip, but this still cannot prevent it from becoming the most popular paparazzi newspaper in the country. Dog-catching newspaper. Yes, this is the name of this newspaper. In the newspaper office, a middle-aged man wearing a peaked cap and black-framed glasses was looking at the rising data on the internet with satisfaction. Various comments and clicks. In addition, there were wisps of black smoke rising and floating in front of him. However, no one could see these black smoke. The smoke flowed through every pore on his body and penetrated into his body, giving him a very comfortable and pleasant feeling. I didn't expect that people in this world still have enough malice towards the reviewer. It only takes a little push to immediately generate incomparable thoughts. Greed, jealousy, hatred, these are all my nutrition. I should have thought of it long ago. Instead of trying hard to test others and tirelessly guiding others' thoughts, it is better to push the reviewer out directly. The higher you stand, the more doubts you will suffer, and the more people will be unhappy with him. Greed, I like it. Anger makes me happy, and hatred makes me happy. Come on, come on. It won't be long, reviewer. I want you to understand that it won't be long before you can no longer threaten me. I'm not afraid of you. Never afraid of you. The original world still emphasizes traveling around the world with a sword. How tiring. It's so easy in this world. You can travel around the world with a keyboard to make these posts more popular. Reviewer, get out of our world. Reviewer, don't bring danger. We don't need you. We don't need to understand future civilization. Starting today, boycott reviewer, refuse any live broadcasts by reviewer, refuse to spread or share for him. Chapter 339, another space crack. Obviously, Lee Pingfan didn't know about the shocking public opinion about reviewer on the internet. They have been a bit drunk these days. These days, hiccups. I don't know if my stomach is full of wine or my head is full of wine. I feel the same way. I feel like the bath water is wine when I take a bath now. Too simple. These villagers are really enthusiastic. I may not have drunk so much wine in my life. Wow, Leoli, your fishing rod has taken the bait. Pull it up quickly. The idiot has run away again. Leoli, no, your fishing skills need to be improved. Look at me. Gao Shui stood excitedly on the bow of the wooden boat, waving a fishing rod that had been bitten by the hook in his hand, and a huge splash of water splashed on the calm water. From the splash, it can be seen that the fish that took the bait should be large. Ha 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 ha, I said I'm a genius. I'll learn everything very quickly. I can learn fishing, which is a non-technical thing, easily. Gao Shui put one hand on his waist and held the fishing rod with the other hand. Ha ha ha, look at me picking up fish with one hand. Does it look like Zhao Yun, the famous general of the Three Kingdoms who held a gun with one hand? No, it looks more like Meng Huo. Go away, look at me, picking up fish with one hand. Oh my god. Plop. Gao Shui fishing. No. Gao Shui, who was pretending to be cool, stumbled and fell into the lake. Fuck, Leo Gao can't swim, he's a landlubber. Damn, only Songjie can swim, what should I do? Songjie hasn't woken up from the alcohol yet, his eyes are hazy, and he vomits on the wooden boat, unable to control himself. If he wants him to go down to the lake to save people, maybe 2 lives will really be lost. In this situation, if we wait for rescue, Leo Gao will probably be able to float. Li Pingfan dived in, the water surface was calm and there was no end in sight. Wang Hao and Songjie, who was still drunk, were the only ones left on the boat. This, ha ha ha. Gao Shui didn't know where he had dived, and he came out with a dive. Sorry, I have mastered the swimming technique, and I just went down and caught a fish. Gao Shui wiped the water off his face with satisfaction, and was about to get on the boat. Wang Hao became even more nervous. Just now Leo Li jumped into the water to save you, and now there is no movement. What? Gao Shui was about to jump in. Ripples appeared on the water again. Wait, it should be fine. I remember Leo Li signed up for swimming lessons last year. It's no problem for him to dive in. The depth of this lake is not deep, and there is no silt underneath, and the flow rate is very slow. Gao Shui explained. However, the frequency of ripples became faster and faster, layer by layer, and in a blink of an eye, the lake's surface became boiling, and it seemed that water droplets could be seen jumping wildly on the lake's surface. Damn, what's going on? Then, what is that? A big fish? No, it's not. On the water surface, a crack appeared in everyone's eyes. Yes, it's a space crack. Isn't this the space crack that the reviewer opened when he received the props during the live broadcast? Could it be that the reviewer of the 10,000 Worlds is here? No way. Aren't there only 4 of us here? Or is one of us a reviewer of the 10,000 Worlds? Just as everyone was curious, the crack became larger and larger, and it stopped when it spread to about 30 centimeters. Such a crack appeared out of thin air, and it seemed that something was rushing out. It was a huge black claw with 3 fingers, and there was a sharp scimitar-like substance in front of each finger. Monster? When did this creature appear on Earth? Fuck. Where's Leo Li? I'm here, let's go. At this time, Li Pingfan suddenly emerged from the water, turned over and jumped onto the wooden boat. Let's go. Li Pingfan's face was grim, and he gave an order. Okay. Hurry up and inform the people in the village. What happened? Are there any monsters from another dimension invading? Several people took the oars and began to paddle frantically. Songjie was still lying on the side of the boat and vomiting. He accidentally glanced at the crack on the lake. Hey, I saw a black fish. It has claws. Ahahaha. Just as everyone left, the lake's surface was surging again. With a bang, a figure emerged from the lake, stirring up layers of water. In front of the eyes, it was a set of steel armor with red and gold tones. This is Li Pingfan. In fact, when Li Pingfan jumped into the lake, he found signs of the space crack opening, and then he turned on the virtual reality experience device in the water. There was no way. There were still Wang Hao and a few others on the water. As for Li Pingfan on the boat, of course he was also an NPC. He was controlling the virtual reality experience device to keep them away from the space crack, but still within the coverage of the experience device, just getting closer to the edge. Only in this way can he ensure that he can take care of them in time without causing panic. It's another space crack. Li Pingfan frowned. How could this thing appear again? The last time was in the Ace world. Destroy. Li Pingfan floated on the lake, opened his hands, and the armor on his hands dissipated automatically, revealing 2 slender hands. Suddenly, a black flame gushed out from his palms and rushed into the crack. It was fierce. The hell extinguishing god fire continued to hit the crack. What surprised him was that after the impact of the hell extinguishing god fire, the crack actually showed signs of healing. From 30 centimeters, it shrunk to less than 20 centimeters. I didn't expect the hell extinguishing god fire to have an effect on these alien cracks. Li Pingfan was astonished. This was a good discovery. Although he had this discovery, Li Pingfan still felt a headache. There were also alien cracks here. What was going on? Damn, it was really annoying. The flames continued to bless, and the hell extinguishing god fire continued to output, and finally successfully repaired the space crack. As for the monster's claws, they evaporated in an instant, turned into black smoke, and disappeared into the world. That's it. Forgot to contact Ace World. I should ask Huang Xiao and how she handled it. If it didn't work, I could release the hellfire that he sealed in the cave before he left. When the flames hit, it should be able to repair the space crack. The only problem now is that I'm not sure if this crack is the only one. Li Pingfan frowned, and his face was gloomy. It seems that the leisure time is over. The experience time of the virtual reality experience device ended, and Li Pingfan successfully played a Cat 4 Prince. The fake Li Pingfan took advantage of the turbulence of the boat and fell into the water. The real Li Pingfan came out again and got back on the boat. This scene successfully deceived Gao Shuwei and Wang Hao. The only thing that Li Pingfan didn't control was that Song Jie, who was sitting at the bow and vomiting, had floated out of the effective distance covered by the virtual reality experience device. He just vomited and saw Iron Man, and then rubbed his eyes and found that everything was as calm as before. The water surface was still calm. Here is still the quiet Taoyuan mountain village. Chapter 340 Emergency. Fuck, Laoli, you scared me to death. What's going on? Hey, where are the space cracks and monster claws? Wang Hao rubbed his eyes. He really couldn't see the cracks on the water. Even if the white paper was torn apart and then tried to fit together, a white line would be left. Why is it okay now? The space is still flat, as if it had never appeared. The huge claw just stretched out. Just from the thick claw, they can probably infer how big the monster is. Even the legs of an adult elephant seem a little small in front of this huge claw. Yes, I just saw it. What's going on? Gao Shuwei was puzzled. Maybe it disappeared. I don't know. Li Pingfan couldn't play dumb. He couldn't say it was fake. Because 3 people saw it. If he insisted that it was fake, it would probably only make people suspicious. It's better to say directly that he doesn't know what's going on. I just saw Iron Man. Song Jie said weakly. Get lost. I don't have time to deal with you. You're drunk, and you still see Iron Man. To be honest, Li Pingfan was shocked when Song Jie said this. He is no longer the inexperienced kid he was at the beginning. Even in the situation just now, he can still deal with it easily, plan calmly, and try to solve everything. In the past, he might have been exposed. Although it doesn't matter whether he is exposed or not now. Looking at the entire Earth, no force dares to investigate the identity of the Wanji evaluator and everything about him. Even if they knew, Li Pingfan made it public. Tell the whole world, his family, his relatives and friends. Does anyone dare to use them to threaten him? Absolutely not. Because Li Pingfan already has the ability to subvert the entire world, enough to deter everyone, everything. But I really saw Iron Man. Stop talking, go back quickly, and spread this news on the internet. No, it's better to send a private message to the Wanji reviewer. Yes, if Song Jie hadn't mentioned Iron Man, I wouldn't have remembered the Wanji reviewer. He should know about this. Fortunately, although Song Jie seemed to have seen himself trying to use the hell extinguishing divine fire to repair the crack just now, he was drunk and no one believed him. Seeing that the other 3 people denied what he said, Song Jie couldn't help but fall into deep thought. Oh, maybe I really saw it wrong? Still not sober? No network. No signal. No way to contact the outside world. No, the only contact tool here is an old-fashioned telephone in the village chief's house. In fact, For people like Pingfan who have lived in the city since childhood, although they like this kind of peaceful place at first glance, they will find all kinds of bad things after living there for a long time. There is no way to say this. Each has its own advantages. Return trip. Yes, we should go back. I'm going to go first. I just want to go home and take a look. I'll go back to school in a few days. Pingfan parted with them. He didn't have time to slowly transfer from the ox cart to the tractor, then transfer to the bus, and then take the train. Too tired. After leaving the mountain village, Pingfan rode the ox cart for a while, and then found a tractor to take him to the bus. The bus takes more than 2 hours, and there is only one bus a day. One bus goes, and one bus comes back. After Pingfan went to the supermarket to buy 2 boxes of cigarettes, and gave them to the uncle driving the tractor, he found a corner, took out the space blade, cut open the space, and entered it. As for going home, he didn't plan to do so. It's not that he didn't go home. As for the fact that he is a 1G reviewer, he can't tell his family too much, because it will only make them worry. As for the safety of his family, don't forget the sniper, and keep the promise. Pingfan naturally has arrangements, and his family members can be said to be very safe. As for family trivia, Pingfan immediately connected to the network. After returning to the ocean house, he talked to hybrid number 2 when he was on his way to Songje's hometown. Remind Jarvis that, if it is not an extremely urgent matter, do not disturb him these days. He also wants to experience the life of ordinary people. Fishing, drinking, climbing mountains, swimming in the lake. Actually, big brother, you just came back. Why don't you go to the succubus sister for psychological counseling first? The mermaid stopped Pingfan. Isn't it? Every time you are unhappy, go to the succubus's room, and then come out, you will feel happy. The mermaid asked. Pingfan's face was full of black lines. I want to warn you, be careful when you speak. The fact is that every time I'm unhappy, I go to the succubus's room. At this point, Pingfan fell silent. It's like in pesticide, that your teammate who is waiting to harvest heads in a group suddenly hangs up, standing there looking at the sky, waiting until you are exhausted, and the chrysanthemums wither. As for why it is chrysanthemums, I'm happy. The mermaid stood in front of Pingfan, waiting for the second half of his words. About 5 minutes passed. Pingfan spoke again. Then come out, and you will feel happy. Please lengthen the pause in between. This is also the most basic respect for me. Do you understand? Sir, something is wrong. I was just about to contact you, but you came back. Hybrid number 2 walked out of the laboratory at this time. Under Pingfan's order, he has been busy dismantling machines recently. Of course, he is not dismantling himself. He is dismantling the time-space fugitive that Pingfan brought back from the past 5 years. He also wants to study what it feels like to master the power of time. About the space crack? Yes, sir. It turns out that you already know it. Jarvis asked in surprise. Yeah. Pingfan was silent. As he guessed, the space crack that appeared above the lake in Songje's hometown is not the only one on this earth. How many have you found? There is a space crack in Jiangnan City, in the commercial office area, very close to your company. What? Pingfan frowned. Jarvis, try to hack into all the network monitoring systems in the world, and then let the mermaids help you. I know how to close the space cracks, but I'm not sure if it can be closed after it is torn to a certain extent. In short, all other things should be put aside. The most important thing at the moment is to solve these space cracks. Monitoring the whole world and reviewing it bit by bit will be a very large workload. However, Jarvis will not say it is difficult. He will only obey the task and then devote 100% of his enthusiasm to it. Mermaid, what did you want to say just now? The mermaid also forgot. She was shocked by the appearance of the space crack. No matter what, you go to help Jarvis monitor the world first. By the way, I can start a live broadcast and mobilize a vast live broadcast audience to help me find it. Pingfan thought this was a good idea. Unfortunately, he did not pay attention to the recent public opinion on the network platform. He also didn't know what he would face after opening the live broadcast room. Chapter 341 Public Opinion Crisis. Malice. At some point in the live broadcast room, a large number of viewers suddenly poured in. Some of these IDs looked familiar, some were unfamiliar, and some were not even people who had been to his live broadcast room. Boycott Wanji Reviewer. Start today. Reject Wanji live broadcast. Refuse to predict the future. We want a peaceful and tranquil world. A world without Wanji Reviewer. What future technology will Wanji Reviewer promote this time? Aren't you worried that one day future technology will turn around and harm the earth? Please, don't come again. Wanji Reviewer, if no one watches your live broadcast review, will you be laid off? Come on, reviewer, don't be beaten by these marketing accounts. There are many fake fans among them. We still support you, but many people say that their accounts have been banned. Indeed, the systems of various live broadcast platforms cannot invade Pingfan's account, but they can control those who have been in the Wanji Reviewer's live broadcast room account for a long time. Soon, Dowel platform, 8 stations, and other platforms issued announcements at the same time. The account was not blocked by them, but by hackers. As for where the hackers came from, they didn't know. In short, a wave of boycotting Wanji Reviewer began to surge across the internet, sweeping the world in an instant. Wanji Reviewer, who was once very popular, suddenly became a bug on the internet, and everyone wanted to kill him. No, everyone, please listen to me. I have something to ask you this time. This is what happened. We don't want to listen. Please leave the internet platform and give us a piece of pure land. Don't let you affect our world. Okay, the culprit. If the earth really encounters any difficulties one day in the future, it must be caused and brought by you. Shut up, all of you. Don't you know the disaster of the meteorite hitting the earth 5 years ago? Such a large meteorite, isn't it the reviewer? It seems that it really wasn't him. We have guardians on the earth, so we don't need other guardians to appear. Give us back the perfect earth. Shut up. Even if the meteorite was not made by the reviewer, you still remember that tsunami that was enough to threaten several cities some time ago. If it weren't for the Wanji Reviewer who rushed into that tsunami regardless of his own life, several cities would have been submerged and how many lives would have been lost? You are now blaming the Wanji Reviewer. Who can be sure that the tsunami was not caused by him? Yes, it's just a way to promote himself. I think it shouldn't be a problem for the Wanji Reviewer to make the tsunami so big. The live broadcast room showed a trend of collapse, and Pingfan was not allowed to speak at all. After a moment of negotiation, his heart was a little cold, and he could only close the live broadcast room under the pressure of public opinion from millions of viewers. After closing the live broadcast room, Pingfan was a little confused. What the hell happened? I just went on vacation. Why did it suddenly become like this? The mermaid stepped forward and said, alas, actually, I should comfort you. The pressure of public opinion on the internet platform is too great. Regarding this matter, the star-picking boss has negotiated with me. This is definitely not the intention of the Chinese side. China has the right to support you, but the internet platform has set off such a wave of enthusiasm. They can't fight against hundreds of millions of netizens. I understand. Then should I continue to help hybrid number 2, or just give up? Go first. Wait for my plan. Pingfan sent the mermaid away and logged into the internet platform. Sure enough, the number 1 traffic on the internet now is him. Wanji Reviewer. Open any website, any video software, or any social system. The headlines inside are all about Wanji Reviewer, interview videos, collective condemnation, and so on. Please ask Wanji Reviewer to leave our ordinary life. Our world does not need Wanji Reviewer. Technology does not benefit mankind, but only stays in its own hands. It is always a double-edged sword. If you were Wanji Reviewer, what would you do? Support or boycott? It's your choice. Even in one video, a reporter randomly stopped several children with a microphone, and every word they said was a boycott of the Wanji Reviewer. We don't need the Wanji Reviewer, we just want to live a good life. The peaceful life was disrupted by him. The law is obviously the existence that constrains everything, but because he has power, he can trample on the law at will. We reject him. Boycott the Wanji Reviewer, starting with me. It is strongly recommended that the Wanji Reviewer be included in the list of pornography, gambling and drugs from now on. No one is allowed to watch his live broadcast on the internet. If you watch it, you will bear legal responsibility. 1G reviewer, if you are not from our earth, please leave. If you are, please leave too. We don't need you. This city is protected by law. Without you, we will not be in danger. These words hurt Pingfan. Of course, he himself is not a superhero. Who is making trouble? Pingfan's face was at hen. In this case, it's just right. I haven't rested enough. Pingfan has a big mentality. He will not go online to abuse those people. Sir, do you need me to hack into the internet and delete those slanderous posts? No need. Pingfan rejected Friday's proposal. He lay on the lawn. There will always be a day when people regret. At the same time, just above the CBD of Jiangnan City, a crack appeared out of thin air. At first, there was just a black dot the size of a bean, because in the high sky, the black dot did not attract people's attention. However, when the black dot was torn apart, no one could remain calm. A huge monster's hand stretched open the black dot and opened the passage between the two worlds. The crack in the other world once again appeared completely in front of people. There was a monster inside. At the same time, several online website posts supporting the 1G reviewer could not be pushed up at all. Many portal websites wanted to use the posts that boycotted and abused the 1G reviewer to get a wave of traffic. Just when the whole network entered the wave of boycotting the 1G reviewer, another post and several live broadcasts quietly became popular. What is the inexplicable crack that appeared above the central business district of Jiangnan? It's as if something is trying to break free from it. Could it be that the 1G reviewer is trying to intimidate people? Don't be afraid, everyone. The adventurer will broadcast the entire event live for you. We will go deep into CI to find out the true appearance of this strange crack. Actually, man, those letters read CBD, that's right, CI 1G reviewer, don't even think about intimidating us with this method. Don't even think about it. Chapter 342 Stalemate. Boom. A 5-story low-rise office building in the distance was suddenly hit by something. A hole more than 5 meters high was knocked open in the middle of the entire floor. A huge figure appeared in the flying smoke, dust, and stone debris. It was a monster that was 4 or 5 meters tall. It stood on 2 feet, with black claws, and long hair as hard as steel. There was only one eye on its huge head, and 2 things like horns protruded from both sides of its head. There were huge fangs in its mouth. Monster, haven't you drilled out of the space crack yet? Who the hell told you there is only one space crack? It seems that there is another one nearby that we haven't found. Damn, what should we do? Attack, divert fire. Obviously, they guessed right that there was indeed more than one space crack torn near the CBD of Jiangnan City. Similarly, they didn't expect that there was more than one monster that arrived on Earth in the first wave. Boom. Just behind the firepower defense line, another monster rushed out. It was very fast, at least 100 miles per hour, and rushed towards the heavy armored vehicles in a blink of an eye. The impact force knocked the several tons of armored vehicles to the ground. The bullets fell on them like eggs hitting stones. Maybe it was a bit exaggerated, but there was no way to kill them, or even stop them. It was no different from hitting a rock with an egg. Bang! There was a loud noise. The tank that arrived late, a heavy shell hit the monster that was slaughtering at will. The powerful impact made the monster retreat several steps and smashed into a building. Smoke and dust rose everywhere. However, the tank did not stop. It continued to attack the building that was about to become a ruin. Bang, bang. Shells hit one after another. Destroy it. This should be enough. The roar was endless. Boom. In the distance, a black shadow jumped out of the dust, and the black shadow jumped up to a height of dozens of meters. It was the monster that was blasted away by the tank's shells and then bombed several times in a row. It rushed into the sky, jumped 100 meters, and fell fiercely. It stepped on the tank, and the powerful force crushed the tank and completely crushed it. Even the tank guns can't hurt it. Keep attacking, and don't let these monsters rush into the crowd. Damn monsters, they actually invaded the Earth. What's going on? Why did the space crack suddenly appear? Oh no, we just checked that there is a kindergarten on the 18th floor of Building B of Marriott Building. They were doing activities before, and it was completely closed. So our rescuers were negligent when they investigated just now and didn't implement evacuation. How can we rescue them now? What? How can there be such a thing? How did your rescuers do it? Damn, how many people have you checked? Just now our drone checked. There are 5 life counselors and teachers, and there are 15 children under the age of 6. 20 people. 20 people. What on earth do you do for a living? In fact, there is no way. The CBD is very large. Although they had warned by helicopter and personnel went up to the building to search and guide the people, mistakes were inevitable. After all, time was very tight. No one was sure when the monster would break free. Send special forces to carry out rescue immediately and apply for the help of the 1G evaluator on the internet, and then dispatch helicopters to attract the 2 monsters that have appeared with firepower to divert their attention, and then pay attention to disperse all residents within a radius of 10 kilometers. It must be fast. There is no good way to eliminate these monsters for the time being. The only way is to control the attention of the monsters and find a solution by dispersing them. The battlefield is destined to be expanded. Understood. These children must be saved. If they become victims, the consequences will be disastrous. Do you understand? I must get these children back, no matter what the cost. At this time, a full-hearted voice came. Mr. Long came to the front line in a Zhongxin suit. His position in China is to be responsible for these superpower events. Now that the rift in the alien world has opened, he has the responsibility. Mr. Long, why are you here? You'd better go to the rear to give instructions. Yes, the front line is too dangerous. Mr. Long, go back. Shut up. Mr. Long's face was livid. Even if I die, I will die here today, and I will die in front of those children. Do you hear me? No matter what the cost, I must rescue the children for me. Understood. Dispatch drones, unmanned bombers, and various things that can attract the monster's attention. While the other monster has not appeared yet, divert their attention and rescue the children. Check other places to make sure that no other people are trapped here. Understand? Don't worry, Mr. Long. Our specialists have taken infrared thermal imaging sensors to conduct a strict investigation and will never let our citizens get hurt here. Until now, after the tanks and armored vehicles were destroyed one after another, people realized the seriousness of the matter. They realized that all this had nothing to do with the 1G evaluator. There was really a scene of invasion from another world. Soon, drones and unmanned bombers were mobilized to attack these monsters and attract their attention. At the same time, a team of well-armed personnel quietly rushed towards the building. Because of the battle, the power in this area was completely shut down, and they could only move forward through the stairs. Through the equipment brought by this rescue team, Mr. Long and his team could closely observe the traces of the rescue team. Everything went well. They had successfully reached the 18th floor and opened the security door that was blocked due to power failure. After checking all the trapped people, they began to sneak downstairs smoothly. At this time, the monster successfully squeezed out of the other space crack in the sky. Unlike the other 2 monsters, this monster has a pair of huge black wings similar to bats on its back, and it has the ability to fly. The original drones and drone bombers are gradually leading away the other 2 monsters on land. They use their flying ability to avoid the monster's attacks and constantly attract attention. However, after this winged monster appeared, the drone had problems. It was faster. With a shake of its wings, it rushed forward, and its huge claws smashed down like a 1,000-pound weight. With one claw, the drone was cut open or smashed. In a blink of an eye, the other 2 land-walking monsters regained consciousness and returned to the battlefield. At this moment, a car sent to pick up people under the building was discovered. The monsters rushed over angrily, jumped up heavily, and then stepped down and crushed it. Chapter 343 I'm just a spectator. Above the clouds, Pingfan sat on the magic sword, crossed his legs, holding a cup of iced cola in one hand and a large bag of popcorn in his arms. Well, as expected, cola must be iced, and love me must be sincere. Double the cola. After taking a sip with satisfaction, his eyes fell calmly, looking at the panic scene, and couldn't help but smile. Safe? Of course not. What does it have to do with me? Just have fun. Originally, Pingfan had no intention of coming here. but he didn't know why. He was sitting uncomfortably in the ocean house, his pores enlarged, his breathing tightened, and his forehead was covered with cold sweat. At one point, the mermaid sister thought he had prickly heat. In the end, Pingfan couldn't help, but decided to come and watch the show. That's right, he came to watch the show. The standard for watching a show: cola and popcorn. See, I have such feelings. I want to see if you have any better way to deal with these alien creatures. He has been there since the first alien monster appeared, watching the monsters rushing around, overturning armored vehicles, trampling tanks, and killing mercilessly. The second monster appeared, completely tilting the situation in the field towards the alien creatures. There are only 2 monsters, and although their bodies are very strong, they should not be without countermeasures. More advanced and more powerful thermal weapons should be able to destroy them, but how to close the rift in the alien space, you are destined to have no way. Pingfan changed to a more comfortable posture, lying on the magic sword, one leg shaking. When the third monster appeared, destroying the drones and unmanned bombers with lightning speed, Pingfan knew that the situation was very clear. If no more thermal weapons are sent, everyone in this place will die. But what does it have to do with me? I'm just a spectator. A passerby who doesn't have any feelings. From the day he became a reviewer of all worlds, the Earth was just a stop on his journey of life. In addition to this stop, he has more directions to go. Ace World, Zuunfa World, SCP World. No matter where, he can stay. It doesn't have to go back to Earth. Let them destroy the Earth. Pingfan's heart had turned cold at some point. He didn't even blink when he saw the monsters slaughtering the soldiers. There was no ripple in his heart, and he didn't stop stuffing popcorn into his mouth, as smooth as ever. It's destined to be a failure. Those people can't escape. The drones and unmanned bombers were destroyed, and the subsequent ones couldn't play the same role as before. The rescue team that just ran down the building immediately attracted the attention of the 2 land-walking monsters. A group of children? Pingfan is not a saint. He won't be soft-hearted just because the other party is a child. Similarly, he won't treat the other party kindly just because the other party is an old man. There is a saying, children may be bad guys who haven't grown up. The old man is just a bad guy who has grown old. It seems a pity. I don't know what the public opinion on the internet will be like next. Funny? No, it should be ridiculous. Ignorant people. Mr. Long also knew that things were a bit difficult to deal with. He kept sending out various cars to attract the attention of the monsters and try to buy more time for the rescue team. Does this count as injuring 800 enemies and injuring 10,000 of our own? For these few people, various cars, military vehicles, and armored vehicles were continuously dispatched. But obviously, these cars were not worth mentioning in front of the monsters, and they could not even hurt the other side. Just for these few people. There were many children among them. People who had no means of force at all. Is it really worth it? Pingfan laughed at himself, took a sip of iced cola, and found that the cup had been empty without knowing when, and there were only a few ice balls that had not melted yet. He couldn't eat the popcorn in his arms. The sweet aroma of the cream was a little greasy, and it felt like people's throats were sticky. He didn't know how many years he hadn't eaten these puffed foods. It seems that it shouldn't be considered puffed food. In short, it's just as unhealthy. Although it's unhealthy, it's happy. Double the happiness. Wow, it really works. It seems that the rescue team can escape smoothly. Pingfan was like a film critic, constantly commenting on what happened off the court. Although the cola was gone, and his throat was a little fuzzy, he couldn't help but stuff popcorn into his mouth. Idiot, run faster. The stupid teacher in front is wearing high heels, and the shoes are made of chicken feathers. If this were a movie, I'd probably be criticized for this scene again. He's risking his life for the sake of his demeanor. He deserves it. Unfortunately, it's probably just like that. Even if someone can escape by luck, there may be a few who will die. Just as Pingfan was analyzing, a little girl holding a pile of A4 papers in her arms suddenly fell to the ground, and some of them were scattered, blown away by the wind. Unexpectedly, the little girl turned around and left the team, trying to pick up the white papers that were scattered on the ground. The life counselor who was following the back of the team rushed over and picked up the little girl, but the next moment the girl bit the teacher's arm heavily, broke free from the teacher's arms, and ran over again. Idiot, is that money? What's wrong with children of this era? Risking their lives? No brains? Pingfan couldn't help but curse. What time is it, and you're still picking up paper? How come? Can those papers prolong life? He felt bored, and such people were not worth saving, because they had no brains. If he saved them, they might die again tomorrow. If you want to give experience to these monsters, then go ahead. Pingfan was determined not to care. The monsters noticed the little girl running in the opposite direction. We must stop them. Stop the monsters, and don't let that little girl get hurt. Mr. Long's voice roared out from the pager. Several soldiers of the rescue team loaded their guns, leaving only 1 or 2 people to continue to lead the team to escape, and they rushed towards the little girl. Bang, bang, bang. Bullets kept spraying. Unfortunately, there was no way to stop the monster. The monster kept approaching. The girl squatted on the ground, picking up the scattered white paper with her chubby hands in panic. Idiot, you're going to sacrifice the lives of several soldiers. If I were those soldiers, I would definitely leave to save her, and it's unlikely that I can save her. I might even sacrifice my own life. It's not worth it. It's better to keep my life and continue to fight against the strong. Pingfan stretched. He was wondering if those soldiers would rush over. The monster didn't directly hit or trample on her this time. It was probably a little curious about this little fat girl who was still picking up things regardless of her life. It walked over slowly and stood about 5 meters away from the little fat girl. Monster, stop. Chapter 344. This area is under my protection. The soldiers couldn't go forward. It wasn't that they didn't dare. When they turned around and chose to come back to rescue the little girl, they had already lost their lives. The reason why they couldn't go forward was that another monster surrounded them from behind. Now, they were left with death. Because of this little girl's mistake, they could only die. The monsters were not as rough as they were against those armored vehicles, helicopters, and drones. Instead, they surrounded them with interest and didn't rush to kill them. It was like a beast surrounded its prey and started to play with it until the prey completely lost its vitality, and then they would attack. But just when the monster was about to be a little girl, a childish voice sounded. A little boy in a hoodie ran out, wearing an Iron Man mask on his head. After shouting angrily, he stood in front of the little girl and then imitated the way Iron Man attacked, raised his hand, and let his palm rush to the monster. He didn't retreat. He wasn't afraid. Standing in front of the little girl, the wind blew his clothes. In the distance, near the defense line, everyone was dumbfounded. How much courage did this kid have? Idiot. Pingfan cursed. What do you want to do? Do you think you are Iron Man? How can there be so many superheroes in this world? Because of the delay here, the other members of the rescue team successfully escaped. Go and save her. Go and save her, please. Save her quickly. A girl in her 20s, who should be a teacher in this kindergarten, rushed to the troops and rushed to Mr. Long. Save. What a joke. It's already this situation. Do they have the ability to save? Mr. Long's face was livid, and the media behind him kept broadcasting the battle scene here. Could it be that they still failed at the last minute? One death is almost the same as all death. This is a failure for Mr. Long. What on earth did you pick up? What kind of white paper can be more important than life? Is that paper made of gold? A deputy commander next to Mr. Long couldn't help his temper and angrily scolded those life mentors. These kids are all fans of Wanji Reviewer. They are very distressed by the cyberbullying that Wanji Reviewer has suffered recently. However, because of those marketing accounts and keyboard warriors, many posts and videos supporting Wanji Reviewer cannot be pushed to the top. The little girl is called Song Yak-sun. She is the class monitor. Today, she organized an activity for the children in the class to clear the name of Wanji Reviewer. The posters she held in her hands were made by these children for Wanji Reviewer spontaneously. They want to use their spare time to go to the streets and distribute posters to people. Originally, when the monster appeared, I wanted to organize them to leave, but Song Yak-sun was unwilling to give up those posters and did not allow others to hold them, so this scene happened. Some children may not be able to help 1G reviewer financially, and they don't know how to speak out on the internet, but they know how to use their own ways and methods to try their best to reduce people's misunderstanding of 1G reviewer. Perhaps someone will say, is it worth it? Just some posters. If they are lost, they are lost. When it is safe, you can do it again. That's true. It's true. It's very reasonable. But don't forget, they are just children. Is the world of children the same as the world of adults? Perhaps for them, these few insignificant posters that even the 1G reviewer will not see are already filled with their blessings. It is something that cannot be replaced, perhaps more valuable than their lives. Or perhaps they don't understand the meaning and value of life at all. They only know that these things that represent their hearts may call back the 1G reviewer. When the life teacher finished speaking, it happened to fall into the lens of a well-known formal media, and every word and every sentence was included in it. These quotations quickly fermented on the internet and spread on the internet. Most of the people who slandered the 1G reviewer were led by the rhythm, and the attacks of marketing accounts and keyboard warriors kept the heat going. It can even be said that, if someone dares to speak for the 1G reviewer, he will be greeted with endless abuse and slander until no one dares to speak. If there is a post that supports 1G reviewer, they will go and bombard it crazily, and then force the post to be deleted, banned, and swallowed. Videos, everything is like this. The internet once became a world for keyboard warriors. The words of this life mentor said what most people wanted to say in their hearts, but did not say. Pingfan was still on the magic sword, and the monster was approaching the little boy step by step. His eyes inadvertently fell on the white paper. Now Pingfan, especially after awakening the chaos void body, his strength can be said to be very high, and his physical fitness is beyond ordinary people. Even at this moment in the air, the paper is only the size of A4 paper, but he can see it. There is a painting on the paper. The person in the painting is him. Although the painting style is childish and there is no theme, he recognizes the crooked words. 1G reviewer, I miss you. I miss you. These 4 words are like a matchstick. That's right. Someone once said, give me a fulcrum, I can pry the earth. The matchstick was weak, but it found a suitable fulcrum and easily pried open Pingfan's heart, which was like an iceberg for thousands of years. Idiot. The monsters seemed to have run out of patience. They raised their giant claws one after another, and the protruding nail-like nails were like sharp knives. The little boy was still standing in front of the girl, raising his hands. He looked particularly small. Boom. A blaster suddenly erupted from behind the little boy. It was wrapped in airwaves, and entangled with electric currents, and it was powerful enough to blow the monster away. The little boy looked down at his hands in surprise. His face was full of question marks. Just now, was it me? Little guy, here's a chance for you to be a hero and save a beautiful girl. Hurry up and help the little girl back. Also, your painting style is really not strong, and your handwriting is a bit ugly. Remember to practice your calligraphy. Also, eat less snacks. Puffed foods are harmful to people. Look at your belly, that's like a swimming ring. If you really have steel armor, can you stuff it in? Burp. Before he finished speaking, he burped, and a sweet and creamy smell came up from his stomach. Pingfan still couldn't help it. Of course, it's not that he couldn't help burping. He still couldn't help but attack. However, even if he attacked, he would still be venomous. As for the monster behind him, before the armored knife fell, Pingfan suddenly flew over. Wearing Mark 85, his hand turned into a container with great suction, sucking the monster's head into it, bringing it high into the sky, and then smashing it down heavily. You guys don't know this place, and I'm protecting it? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 345. Coming for me. It seems that from the beginning, he had no way to avoid it. If he just let these space cracks expand, because of venting his anger, then the evil creatures from other worlds would continue to rush in. Pingfan didn't know what kind of world it was. Although he had contact with it in the Ace world before, the time was too short, and he had no time to investigate slowly. As for the origin of the evil creatures from other worlds, he almost didn't know it at all. Now, when he was in Songjae's hometown village, he also encountered space cracks. It appeared accurately above the lake. Now the space cracks appeared in Jiangnan City. This matter is a bit interesting. It seems that wherever he is, the space cracks will appear there. Coincidentally, the appearance of the space cracks also occurred after he returned to Jiangnan City. It seems that no matter what, he can't just leave it alone. These monsters have a purpose for this trip. Obviously, they are at the level of cannon fodder. Let's try whether the space cracks can successfully reach the world where Pingfan is. If the space cracks are allowed to develop, I don't know what other monsters will come. It's hard to say whether we can deal with them at that time. How is the mountain-eating beast? Pingfan contacted Jarvis through the split brain. After swallowing Changming blood, the mountain devourer was enveloped by a colorful light, which turned into a huge egg. It's breaking out of its cocoon. Very good, let it come over, Pingfan said. It's time to show off his skills. It's also a warning to these evil demons from other worlds that the price they need to pay to deal with him is a bit high. Understood. The sky above the ocean house opened. The colorful light illuminated the ocean house. Then, a long cry resounded through the world, and the light was shattered and turned into fragments. While drifting, it turned into streams of light and gathered at one point. The next moment, a beam of light visible to the naked eye rushed into the sky. With a sound similar to the cry of a phoenix, a phantom swept out of thin air and flew towards the inland. The speed was very fast. Wherever it passed, there was dazzling light. After completing the fusion, the mountain devourer changed its appearance. Originally, the mountain devourer's body was bald, without a single feather. Now, its body is covered with colorful feathers, and its head is still similar to a bear's head, but it has changed a little. The most noticeable thing is its eyes. There are 2 eyeballs in each eye. The strength of the mountain swallowing beast has greatly increased, and it has arrived in Jiangnan City in a blink of an eye. Pingfan had just finished dealing with a monster. He unsheathed his magic sword and cut off the monster's huge head with horns. A black smoke rushed out of the broken body and tried to escape. The black glass flame emerged from Pingfan's palm, wrapping the black smoke in the rising flames. The black smoke let out painful wails and finally evaporated completely, as if it had never appeared. Here it comes. What is that? It's a thing that flashes 7 colors. Is it another monster? Damn it. The situation in the field is not very clear. Another monster has come? No, my high definition camera successfully captured the appearance of the monster. Why does its head look familiar? It seems to be a mountain swallowing beast. Impossible. I have seen a mountain swallowing beast. A mountain swallowing beast has no feathers and is bald all over. It is as ugly as it can be. How can it become so exaggerated? That's right. The current mountain swallowing beast is a bit exaggerated. There is a thick layer of feathers on its body, and the feathers are 7 colors. It's like a person who is passionate about hairdressing and cutting hair, cuts a big coxcomb, and then dyes the coxcomb with 7 colors. The visual impact is very powerful. Fuck. You are not as good as before you evolved. Pingfan was also disgusted. Why does it feel that the mountain swallowing beast is going to the path of a spirited bird and will never return? The mountain swallowing beast is helpless. Damn. Is this my fault? I don't know what I did, but you fed me a pill. After taking the pill, I have a coat of extra hair, and it's colored hair. What do you want me to do? Point mountain swallowing beast, deal with that flying thing. Remember not to kill it, just destroy it. Pingfan said. We have to leave one alive to discuss the problem. The mountain swallowing beast got the order. To be honest, it is not very satisfied with the current situation. It feels wronged. How domineering it used to be. Although it is bald. But it is stronger. What does this fancy thing mean now? However, its eyes are still looking at the more domineering evil demon from another world. The evil demon has a majestic head, a pair of domineering horns on its head, and a pair of huge bat-like wings behind it. No matter how you look at it, it is a little handsome. Why, you are more handsome than me. Kill you. This is what the mountain swallowing beast thinks. The mountain swallowing beast itself is not weak. In the world of Xuanfa, although they are not as strong as the Dragon King, the mountain devouring clan is also a very terrifying monster. At least the people in the one for Holy Land will be afraid when they hear about it. Think about the performance of the native brother at the beginning. Isn't it because of the fear of the mountain devouring clan? The mountain devouring beast has a strong strength. Now that it has merged 1/10 of the blood of the ancient divine Ba Changming, it is even more terrifying. It shook its wings. The feathers all over its body fell off and restored its previous appearance. After the colorful feathers left the body, they turned into feather swords and rushed towards the flying evil demon from another world without any chance of resistance. The feathers turned into a rainbow and engulfed the evil demon from another world at an extremely fast speed. The next moment, it fell from the air and fell heavily to the ground. At the same time, the mountain devouring beast fell suddenly. A huge claw slapped down from the air and pressed the head of the evil demon from another world hard. Then it let out a long cry to notify Pingfan. Everything is done. Don't panic. The battle is over here. Don't worry. I'll get it done here soon. Sword God. Pingfan didn't bother to waste time. His original intention was to see what the abilities of these alien demons were. After fighting, he found that the strength of these things was just average. After holding the magic sword, a pale blue sword holding god appeared behind Pingfan and floated in the air. The sword holding god, more than 10 meters high, really looked like a god of war. In the distance, all the onlookers were dumbfounded. Perhaps this is a miracle. It's not that they haven't seen Pingfan use this trick before, but it was all in the live broadcast room, which felt like watching TV or watching a movie. It's a completely different experience from watching it live in person. Kill. The god raised the giant sword, and a purple breath emerged from Pingfan's head and drilled into the huge sword. Faith in the purple air blessing. One sword seemed to be able to cut the world. Boom. The giant sword fell. The sword energy engulfed the alien demons, and everything returned to normal. When the black smoke drilled out and wanted to escape, a flame fell from the sky, wrapped it up, and evaporated completely. Let's go. Pingfan signaled the mountain devourer to take the living demon from another world and the two corpses back. He, on the other hand, needed to stay and seal the space crack. Chapter 346 Interrogation. The Church of the Gods. At the same time, a video about the Church of the Gods was spread on the internet platform. The video was of course recorded by Pingfan. In the video, he seemed to be deep in the fairy palace, with a sign of peace and tranquility. He sat on the throne. The dragon was coiled behind him, and under the seat were the two people who were enlightened by him just now. This is the creation palace. I don't know how long I have lived here alone. No one else has ever appeared in the creation palace. From today on, I will regard the creation palace as the foundation of my pantheon. Anyone who is destined to be enlightened by me will come to the creation palace. Let's create a prosperous world together. As for the method of becoming a pantheon, of course it is very simple. As long as you have good intentions and believe in me, you will be a member of the pantheon. There is no membership fee to join my pantheon. I have entrusted another way to create a Pantheon Alliance website on the internet platform of the human world. Those who are interested can join it, create an exclusive code for themselves, register their identity information, and you will be a member of the Pantheon. So, it's done. The video is of course fake. The two people who were enlightened by him were also projections made by the virtual reality experience device. And the pictures of the palace were actually made by the virtual reality experience device. Pantheon. The gods return to their positions. It's that simple. Who doesn't want to become a god? There is a reason why Pingfan founded this church. Aren't there so many people jealous of the technology and abilities he has mastered? Very good. I will give you this opportunity now. If the gods return to their positions and believe in me, then you will have the same opportunity as me. Obviously, this is a temptation, a real temptation. No one will refuse, especially those fools. Yes, these two words are now Pingfan's definition of these humans. Fools. Stupid people. Fools don't need pity. Want to go through the sky and into the earth? Want great supernatural powers? Want extraordinary technology? Maybe you want immortality? Don't think about it, just go to bed. Do you want to collect a wave of IQ taxes? Pingfan returned to the ocean house and fell into deep thought. Anyway, these people are idiots enough, and it's not cowardly to collect a wave of IQ taxes from them. That's right, it's decided. Haha, isn't the whole network resisting the reviewers of all worlds? Isn't it a craze? Very good. Now I see how you can resist, and if you all become followers of this seat, who can do anything. Pingfan is even more determined. He would use the loudspeaker of truth to record a video every week to brainwash these fools. The emergence of the polytheism will definitely subvert the world. The polytheism is unparalleled. You founded a polytheism? The mermaid asked, after returning to the ocean house. What else? Those trolls on the internet are too much. Don't you see that others don't want to care? Pingfan said. As for the thing that was stirred up today, the whole world owes him an apology. Bullshit. Who doesn't know how to use hindsight? If he doesn't help people today, there will be no less posts on the internet insulting him. The polytheism will expand little by little under my urging. In a sense, it will penetrate into any level. As long as people have thoughts in their hearts and have ideas about the virtual blueprint I constructed, they will be affected. Pingfan still trusts the prop given by the system, the loudspeaker of truth. Are you planning to be a charlatan? The mermaid asked in surprise. A charlatan? Of course not. Then you founded the Pantheon. Aren't you afraid that one day it will become the world's largest church? Unify the world? Of course not. Within 7 days, those who willingly join the Pantheon will unconditionally pledge allegiance to me. During these 7 days, anyone who wants to discredit me will be regarded as an enemy by them. Then you can try and see who dares to abuse and slander the 1G reviewer on the entire internet. Isn't this brainwashing? The mermaid was surprised. Yes, you can understand it this way. However, if I want to stop one day, it's also very simple. I just need to stop using the truth loudspeaker to spread information. After 7 days, they will naturally have independent consciousness. The truth loudspeaker will not interfere with people. It is like a guiding function that will make people subconsciously feel that what this person says is so credible. Therefore, the Pantheon created by Pingfan and the blueprint of its construction will make them very confident. At the same time, as the leader of the Pantheon, Pingfan naturally has an unshakable position in the hearts of the believers. 7 days later, if they don't continue to use the loudspeaker of truth, or some people don't continue to watch Pingfan's videos, they will escape the control of the loudspeaker of truth. Then they began to wonder, is the Church of the Gods really that evil? Is the position of the evaluator of all worlds in their hearts really unshakable? After having the consciousness of independent thinking, they can regain control of themselves. Therefore, Pingfan doesn't have to worry about the Church of the Gods destroying the earth. Unshakable. After explaining the things about the Church of the Gods to the mermaid, Pingfan looked at the monster that was being pressed and rubbed by the mountain devouring beast. Its wings were almost torn apart by the mountain devouring beast. Who made this guy look more domineering than the old swallow? You recognize me? Pingfan walked forward with a mask on his face. These guys are conscious. He is not sure whether it is good or bad to expose his identity now, but it is always right to be cautious. A cold laugh came from the monster's body. How did you find my trace? 100,000 troops, flattening the world. 1G evaluator, you will be sacrificed for us. Come to Earth with me and try to hurt Jiangwana in the Ace world. What is Jiangwana involved with you? You won't say it, right? Pingfan's palm burned with the hellfire, and the flame was fierce. With a whoosh, it erupted from his palm and could wrap the monster at any time. Facing the threat of the hellfire, it still didn't say anything. You are quite courageous, Jarvis. Take time, no regrets. Let it try and see if you can catch its brainwave frequency. Jarvis took out time, no regrets according to Pingfan's instructions. But the result was failure. This monster is not from Earth, but from another world. Their body structure and many aspects are different from humans. This time no regrets obviously can't conquer this monster. In this case, I can only send you back home. Pingfan burned with black flames and pressed towards the monster step by step. Let me try. At this time, Vanguard number 7. No, it was the number 7 soldier who was staying in Wuialxan who came behind Pingfan. Well, now that my identity has been exposed, there is no need to hide. This immortal has practiced the soul method so I will try to help you find out the purpose of these evil souls, but I can't be sure of the time. Chapter 347 Manjaki Shiringen. Wuai Alkson helped. Li Pingfan was not worried. This guy lived in Pioneer number 7, although he got a very powerful and very scary body. But by the same token, Pioneer number 7 also became a cage. Wuai Alkson's consciousness was completely sealed in it. He couldn't leave Pioneer no 7's body, and could only try to refine Pioneer number 7. Just like a cultivator refining a magic weapon, he refined Pioneer number 7 into his own magic weapon. At that time, he should be able to completely control Pioneer number 7. However, Li Pingfan was not worried. He still hoped that Wuai Alkson would refine Pioneer number 7 as soon as possible, because by that time, Pioneer number 7 and Wuai Alkson's consciousness would be completely integrated together, and they would become one. However, Pioneer number 7 would always obey Li Pingfan's orders. Any order. This is equivalent to him controlling both Pioneer number 7 and Wuai Alkson. Now he can't control Wuai Alkson. I can only control this body. If I want to use the power of Wuai Alkson, I need the other party to take the initiative to have this idea. Wait for this guy to refine the Vanguard number 7 and see if there are any surprises. After returning to the room, Li Pingfan sat down. First mobilize the spiritual consciousness, dive into the source sea, and pass through the source sea to reach Huang's Xiaoyan Sea of immortal consciousness. Sure enough, there are many more sticky notes inside. Success. Huang Xiaoyan did it, and built the space channel. After the evil demon came out, it would be teleported to a cave full of hellfire. The rest is some gossip conveyed by Huang Xiaoyan. Now the night department has gradually got on the right track under the command of Wang Shengli. Their days have also become free. Xianxia sect has been re-established. This time with the support of the night department. The fairy civilization has been spread, and there are already disciples who have become apprentices to learn. Huang Xiaoyan left Yuxu Peak and withdrew from the night department because of the turmoil before. Now he has become a great elder of Xianxia sect and runs Xianxia sect with Jiang Weiner. Yu Yan's strength has improved by leaps and bounds recently, and he has grown into the new Shangshu of the night department. Knowing that everything is fine, Li Pingfan is relieved. He left a note and then exited Huang Xiaoyan Sea of immortal consciousness. The content of the note is very simple. Mountains and rivers meet. Huang Xiaoyan may be that mountain. Li Pingfan is water, and he doesn't know where it flows, but no matter how it flows, as long as it doesn't disperse, there will be a day of meeting. After the end, Li Pingfan continued to sit cross-legged. Chaos void body. This is a very terrifying physique. Li Pingfan had a feeling. When he put on this physique, he suddenly felt that there was endless power in his body. Unlike the source sea, a new world was opened up in his body again. In this world, everything returns to darkness, and the darkness exudes the original breath. It is this infinite breath that drives Li Pingfan to awaken continuously. After spending 1000 points to invest in the void physique and upgrading it, Li Pingfan was shrouded in a layer of light. The light is turbid. There is no color. Because this color cannot be described. Perhaps to people, the light is like the earth. Some people may think that the light is the color of the sky. He didn't know how long this practice lasted. Li Pingfan felt that only a moment had passed. But when he opened his eyes, 3 days had passed. 3 days. Is this the legendary practice? Practice is timeless. It's just a snap of a finger. It seems that I have to be more careful next time, otherwise, 100 years will pass in one practice. This is not impossible. Li Pingfan had just finished practicing, and the succubus girl took the initiative to bring a bowl of noodles to him. Eat something. You should be very hungry after 3 days of practice. In fact, Li Pingfan didn't feel hungry at all. Not only that, he didn't feel tired after 3 days of practice, but full of energy. But how could he leave the noodles carefully prepared by the succubus girl cold? It's delicious. I'll give it to you next time, so that you can taste my cooking skills. Li Pingfan smiled. Originally, he was a little wary of the succubus girl. Perhaps because he saw the future corpse of the succubus girl in the last live broadcast, or perhaps because of other reasons. Now he has begun to accept this girl. I won't treat her as a tool for entertainment in bed. I've already eaten. The succubus girl blushed and whispered. Ahem. Leapingfan opened his mouth and sprayed out some noodle crumbs along with noodle soup. This girl, she always drives. Wait until I finish my noodles and see how I deal with you. Wait until you finish and then let me eat. The succubus girl was not afraid at all and took the initiative to provoke. Damn, you little girl are playing with fire. Leapingfan put down the bowl and rushed over. After ending the cordial and friendly communication with the succubus girl, Leapingfan walked out of the room and came to the lawn square of the ocean house. He wanted to try what magical use the chaos void body had after upgrading. It can actually take off. The turbid origin breath in the body can be mobilized by Leapingfan. What surprised him most was that these breaths could actually merge with the purple air of faith. Now the purple air of faith in his body has reached a full state, and there is a rich purple air of faith flowing into his body all the time. It should be that the function of the pantheon has been excavated. As long as someone joins the pantheon, as long as someone believes in him, then he will be given the purple key of faith. Leapingfan now does not need the help of the magic sword or the steel armor. He can still fly into the air. It is no problem to walk. With every step, there is a purple lotus under his feet. And not only that, these spiritual energies can replace points for him to activate various unique magical powers. For example, the powerful star-picking hand. Arrogant. Try it when you have time to see if you can cultivate the purple key of faith with this chaotic energy together. If you can, the purple key of faith can replace points again. After all, using points to upgrade is a big waste. System. Tomorrow is another new day of live broadcast. Come on, let me see what props are there for this live broadcast evaluation. After feeling the chaotic void body, Leapingfan returned to the ground and controlled his excitement. After carefully checking the time, he found that it was the eve of the live broadcast again. His rating during the last live broadcast was very high, so naturally he had the right to predict the props for the next live broadcast in advance. Ding, live broadcast props overview. The first prop, Manger Key Sharingan, originated from the world of Naruto, belongs to the Uchiha clan. It is the upgraded mode of Sharingan and the second form of Sharingan. It has powerful abilities, but it has a fatal flaw. That is, after casting an illusion, it will cause certain damage to the eyes and body of the caster. If the power of the illusion is too high, it may cause blindness. Chapter 348 live broadcast begins. The first item to be reviewed is the Sharingan. It is an eye from the Naruto world. How do I review this thing? Are you planning to transplant the Sharingan to me? The Manger Key Sharingan should not be the most powerful one. Although Aoi does not have a thorough understanding of the plot of Naruto, he has heard of it to some extent. It seems that there is a Samsara eye, which should not suit me. Although there is such a comment about the Manger Key Sharingan, the strongest eye, that sees through the three realms, the eye technique that shakes the world. But, it is still not the strongest one. Leapingfan looked at the second item. After a pause, his eyes were on the third item. Every time there is a live broadcast, there must be a weirdo to show his presence, just like the current Aoi JKO. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it keeps appearing. How is Leo Baxing going to blow it up? Well, it seems that this issue needs to be put on the agenda, and it should be solved as soon as possible. The third review item, the Civilization Core. What does this mean? The core of civilization. Leapingfan felt more and more strange. After reading the explanation, he was completely confused. The foundation of creating civilization, the birth of a civilization requires a core of civilization. This is the core of a lost civilization, provided by the system. That is, it can completely create a new field of civilization. Leapingfan fell into silence. The human civilization on Earth can now be covered by technological civilization. Above technology is science fiction. Science fiction means future technology, and the civilization produced by future technology plus fantasy. In addition to technological civilization, there are many levels of civilization, primitive civilization, and even the civilization of the law-repairing world of the mysterious law, and the abnormal civilization in the SCP world. Wait, every world has its necessity to exist, and its existence will give birth to a new civilization. So, where did this lost civilization come from? The magic world. Bring the magic civilization to the real world? Everyone started to fly in the sky on a broom. holding a magic wand similar to an extended chopstick in his hand, chanting obscure magic spells. Can it spit fire and water to generate electricity? Barbara's energy transformation? With the blessing of civilization, everything will change. This civilization core is indeed very attractive to Pingfan, but it may not be a good thing to rashly use it to change the Earth's civilization. There are many factors that make a world easy to be a civilization. If the magic civilization is created by him, but the collision of two civilizations causes the destruction of the Earth, this is not impossible. Let's take a look at the fourth item first. Dragon egg. It belongs to the egg of Ashadran. It has a tyrannical strength and once inserted the devil into its chest as a second heart. Its overall appearance is like an ancient red dragon. Another pet. Do you really think he is suitable for opening a zoo? The most important thing is that Pingfan already has a dragon under his command. The Eastern Dragon. This name is something else. It sounds like a stupid dragon from the West. Can a Western dragon be called a dragon? It is clearly just a big lizard with wings. The next morning, Pingfan started the live broadcast on time. The God's cult is mighty, and the first believer of the God's cult has come to pay homage to the leader. Meet the leader. The leader's divine power is all-pervading, and the four-seasoned 8 wastelands bow down to him. The leader's divine power is all-pervading, and the four-seasoned 8 wastelands bow down to him. The barrage was swiping this sentence frantically, and the IDs of the good people were all changed to the Church of the Gods, so-and-so, or so-and-so. Hiss, is it a mistake to establish the Church of the Gods? Why do I feel that my Church of the Gods is no different from a cult, and I have become the leader of the cult? Pingfan was a little speechless. But it's better to be a cult than to be pissed off by these brainless fools. Everyone. First of all, welcome everyone to the live broadcast room of the 1G reviewer at the same time. Today we will continue to review props. Pingfan spoke softly, still wearing the fake mask on his face. It was also his fault that he had never looked in the mirror. He didn't even notice that the mask had changed. It used to be a hideous pattern. Now the mask has become very plain, a plain white mask without expression, and the only change is that there are 2 purple lightning patterns on both sides of the corners of the eyes. Master, when will you enlighten a few predestined followers? Master, I think I'm very suitable. I can warm the bed and have a lot of experience. Choose me. Master, my last name is Tang. Choose me. I'm super sweet. Wait, why did the anchor suddenly become the master? I just went camping in the mountains for a few days. What's the situation? Did the anchor establish a church behind my back? Master? Suddenly I have a sense of deja vu of Danfang Bubei. To be honest, Pingfan also has this feeling. First of all, I want to declare something here. First, no one who is not a member of my All Gods Church and a member who has been enlightened by me is allowed to call me master. Those who violate this will be disqualified from joining the All Gods Church for life. Pingfan really doesn't like this title. Master, in his impression, is also a maverick like Danfang Bubei. Calling master is not as good as calling dad. However, if it's not a girl, it won't sound so good. Think about it. There may be a bearded man with a greasy body in front of the screen, holding his nose with one hand and rubbing his feet with the other hand, and then he will give you a dad in the barrage. Ugh. I can't help it. I can't think about it. Maybe it will make people collapse. Then, what should we shout? Continue to be the anchor? Isn't this a bit disrespectful? How about calling your majesty? Get out of your way. Continue to call the anchor. Pingfan cursed, and then calmed down again. Huh. Okay, now I'm ready to formally introduce today's evaluation props. First, let's introduce the first prop. It comes from the Naruto world in the world of the heavens and plains. I believe everyone should be familiar with it. In the Naruto world, there is a family called the Uchiha clan. This ability is also a special ability unique to the Uchiha clan. Of course, Kakashi can't be counted. I think everyone should understand. The first item provided in this live review is the Sharingan. Oh, sorry, please forgive my imprecision. It should be called the Manjaki Sharingan. Eyes with super powerful pupil techniques. Manjaki Sharingan. The host is going to review this item. I think the host can change his name tomorrow. Let's call it Uchiha Newbie. How about this name? Very domineering and very realistic. I think it's not bad to use such a foreign name for the live broadcast. Wait, I heard that the main Sharingan has backlash damage to the caster. The host should not really review this item. Why not review my Byakugan sister? Chapter 349 Review. Civilization Core. What about the next item? Let's take a look first to see what items are available. Yes, although the Sharingan is quite powerful, it also has a lot of hidden damage. We still feel sorry for you. If we don't review the Sharingan, what else is good to review? Although the second item has not been introduced yet, I can probably guess it. It's either the old Jetty Grass, the 100 times arm strength ball, or the sand badge. Guess. Will the host choose the old Jetty Grass or the sand badge? One shouted old Jetty. One shouted, look at my great sand wall. It's really a rip-off. Relatively speaking, the main Sharingan is also very powerful. The host should review this. I'm a big fan of the Uchiha family, especially the main Sharingan, which is said to be the strongest eye in the sky that can see through the 3 realms. With this title, isn't it worth a review? If it is the Samsara eye, that's even more awesome. Anyway, for the anchor, anything is possible. Let's review the main Gekyo first, and then review the Samsara eye when there is a chance. Why didn't the anchor speak just now? Did I guess it right? The second item is really awesome? That's right. The second item is just so bad. Very good. Let's introduce the third item now. Hahaha, I really guessed it right. Anchor, we all understand, but we still want to hear your explanation. Why can't you introduce the second item? Yes, Anchor, come and introduce it. Stick to your job. You must stick to it. Yes, as a reviewer, you must be dedicated and can't skip it. Come on. It's not the first time anyway. The second item is the Aeoli Jelly Grass. When you use it, put the grass on your head and then shout Aeoli Jelly. Then a green light will flash on your head. It will protect you and make you have a domineering effect for a short time, ignoring attacks. What? Do you want to try it? Pingfan had to introduce it. It was not, because the barrage said so. He was a reviewer, and every item needed to be announced to all viewers in the live broadcast room. I'm reviewing this one. The speech speed of this live broadcast was so fast. It seems that the Aeoli Jelly Grass really made the anchor a little unhappy. Why not give it a try? Anyway, the review task this time should be simpler. No problem. Pingfan ignored the live broadcast barrage and continued to introduce the third item, the Civilization Core. The Civilization Core. There is no need to explain too much. Just the name. I ask you if it is high-end. Civilization Core? Wait, is it what I think? Can you create a civilization? It always feels not so simple. Or will it deprive my Earth of civilization? Is this the core of my Earth civilization? The core of civilization, the origin of civilization, the beginning of everything. When any civilization develops, it must rely on the core of civilization. When a civilization dies, the core of civilization will disappear. This time, the core of civilization, provided to us for evaluation, is a civilization core that is about to die. But because of some means, it has been completely sealed. In other words, no matter how long it takes, this civilization core will not die, unless Pingfan doesn't want it anymore. Unlike ordinary civilizations, it is mature. Although the growth period of civilization is completely incomparable to the development of our Earth civilization, it is also a genuine civilization, called magic civilization. I don't know which world or era this civilization core came from. In short, the magic civilization has been maturing, but because of the birth or collision of another civilization, it was extinguished and sealed in the civilization core. Fuck, magic civilization. Does it mean that, if the civilization core is installed on the Earth, our Earth can usher in magic civilization? We also have the opportunity to become a magician? The kind that rides a broom? Host, can you evaluate this item? Can it make magic civilization flourish on Earth? If technological civilization collides with magic civilization, is it good or bad? This is a bit risky. Most of the people who recommend evaluating this core civilization on Earth are just for fun. They don't know anything. Anyway, watching the fun is not a big deal. If the sky falls, there will be someone tall to hold it up. But some people are calmer. If two completely different civilizations suddenly appear together, there will inevitably be a fierce collision. Even if technological civilization can win, it will also be severely damaged. What if technological civilization loses? Magic civilization has developed significantly, but is that world still their world? Will it still be suitable for human survival? I hope the host will think about it carefully and never give a civilization to Earth casually. Yes, perhaps Earth has never had such a civilization, whether it has ever existed or not, but now it doesn't exist, so it is destined to be eliminated and not suitable for Earth. You can consider an alien planet. Find an uninhabited planet. The previous planet full of water is not bad. Now let me introduce the fourth item, the dragon egg. The dragon's name is Ashadron. I wonder if anyone has heard of it. Ashadron looks like an ancient red dragon in its heyday, but it also has some eye-catching weird features. For example, it has a demon-like face and a terrible scar on its chest. The shape is like a large winged humanoid creature. To be more precise, the one on his chest is a Baler. His eyes are like two glowing and burning flames. Tiny lights kept flashing between his claws. This is a dragon who is keen on the mysteries of life. He is very persistent in his pursuit of life. And the fourth item is the dragon egg. If you hatch it, you can get a brand new dragon, Ashadron. By the way, you may not know much about Ashadron. I want to explain that the scar on his chest that looks like a human figure is not just shaped like a human figure, because it really seals the Baler in his chest and treats it as his second heart. It sounds familiar. I seem to know the origin of this dragon. There have been several dragons in the history of D&D games, and Ashadron is one of them. I see. But you already have a dragon. Don't you think it's more challenging to bestow magic on this world? While the live broadcast barrage was scrolling, Pingfan had already made his own decision. Everyone calm down. In this live broadcast, I will review the third item, the civilization core. That's right. The barrage in the live broadcast room woke him up and gave him a brand new idea. It was much more exciting than reviewing the dragon egg. Chapter 350, Heading to the Moon. Evaluation of the civilization core. The civilization core is obviously the most arrogant and high-end of these props. Wow, I'm looking forward to it. Is the host finally going to give the Earth another civilization? I really want to know what will happen to the Earth under the new civilization. I must be the reincarnation of Dumbledore. My ancestors are more or less mixed-blooded. Oh, the upstairs guy is really a bastard, laughing and crying. Speaking of which, host, you don't plan to use this new civilization on Earth, do you? I'm a little disappointed suddenly, but if not on Earth, where to go? Do you really plan to go to an alien planet? Will the emergence of magic civilization give birth to a new life, and will it harm our Earth? I strongly support the host to use a new civilization on Earth. If it doesn't work, we can discuss and make a place as a pilot. Can this thing still be used as a pilot? Pingfan has his own idea in his mind. Super blue star, too far away, and there are some unknown creatures in that world. If magic civilization spreads in that world, those creatures adapt to and benefit from magic civilization, then they will be out of control. This is adding more powerful enemies to yourself in vain. Magic civilization, I will choose to perform on the moon. This is Pingfan's plan. Anyway, he now has a super soldier factory on the moon. If the magic civilization and the super soldier factory can be integrated with each other, the ability of the super soldier will be upgraded to a higher level again. The moon, speaking of which, is the moon now considered the host's private territory? The moon is so close to the Earth. Is it really suitable? If it is close, can you go up? Ahem, upstairs. Sorry, I was in the moon landing plan 3 years ago, and I was lucky enough to go there once. Ha 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 ha, slap in the face. Does your face hurt? I really went there. Are you envious? I didn't expect this kind of reversal. No matter how the host decides, all we can do is support it. Go to the moon. Pingfan put on the steel armor, which has the ability to travel through space. However, the moon is not that close to the Earth, so he certainly won't choose to fly to the moon wearing the steel armor. Mark 85. Speaking of which, last time I dealt with the foreign demons, I wanted the anchor to review it. Can I try it? This really completes the configuration of the steel series. When can you send me a set? You are not dreaming. After arriving on the moon, you can first review the steel armor. After saying that, Pingfan found the anywhere door combination set, then opened the door, and arrived on the moon. He did not reveal the matter of the anywhere door in the live broadcast room. Although the super soldier appeared, no one knew that he had a super soldier factory on the moon. Only a few people knew about it, and only those staff responsible for the lunar exploration mission knew about it. However, they were specially taken care of by Mr. Long, and were not allowed to disclose anything about the moon. Therefore, few people knew about the super soldier factory. After all, China is the only one that can reach the back of the moon for exploration missions. What kind of black technology is this? Shit, has the space blade evolved to this stage? No, this is clearly a door. You can reach the moon by stepping through the door. Is this space compression? Space folding? Curved space? Or what? The world evaluator is our eternal father. He has countless things that we can't imagine, such as this, a space door that can easily reach the moon. Actually, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether these things are exposed or not. Anyway, no one on the entire Earth is a threat to him. First of all, this is a random door set. I don't know how to explain its operating principle. It is very different from the space blade. The maximum transmission distance of the space blade cannot achieve transmission from the Earth to the moon, Pingfan explained. Now let's have the first test of the brand new series of steel armor, Mark 85. First of all, the shell is mainly red and gold in color, which does not need much explanation. Regarding this armor, it has another name, Nano Armor 2.0. As the name suggests, it uses nanotechnology like the previous one. As he spoke, Pingfan controlled the video camera to rotate 360 degrees around himself several times. First of all, every design detail on the front and back of this set of armor is very detailed, full of muscles, and looks much more domineering than the 50 series, and more robust and powerful. Of course, this pursuit is not just visual. The thickness of the material on both sides of the waist, limbs and head has been greatly strengthened, which increases the defensive power of the armor. At the same time, another change is the shield on the hand. The shields made by the previous 50 series armor are very powerful, but they require nanoparticles to form a shield. This time, the armored hand can form a special electromagnetic force field, which will automatically form a shield-like shape, greatly reducing the time and enhancing the defense. The energy harvesting amplifier on the back has been newly upgraded, which doubles the power of the amplification ability. Needless to say, this is like an enhanced version of 50. As the first generation of nanoparticle steel armor, 50 was created for practical research. After wearing it, through actual combat, the various weaknesses of the armor can be discovered, so as to create stronger armor. This suit of armor embodies Tony's wisdom and energy. In addition to being a product of wisdom that represents extraordinary technology, it is also a very perfect work of art. I like it very much. That was the introduction to the steel armor. There was no need to describe its actual combat capabilities too much, as we had seen them before. Okay, let's get back to the point. Let's get back to the subject. Now, let's first welcome the props to be evaluated in this live broadcast, the Civilization Core. Everyone, don't blink. Please join me in witnessing a once glorious civilization. Of course, he really didn't know whether that civilization had ever been glorious. The cracks in the sky gradually tore open as Pingfan's arms opened. A dark hole was revealed. In the hole, a faint light flickered. The light seemed to be testing something. The next second endless light penetrated the darkness and shone on Pingfan. In the black hole, there was a crystal similar to a diamond floating. The civilization core. Just by looking at it, you can feel that the brilliance it exudes is full of sacred breath. I represent the magic civilization, a civilization we have never experienced before. Today, I will reshape the magic era. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.